Finding serenity amidst life's currents. Welcome to Lotus Whisper. Tonight, we embark on a journey to cultivate an unshakable inner peace, even when faced with the challenging currents of human interaction. Drawing from ancient Zen wisdom and Buddhist teachings, we will explore how to navigate the presence of difficult individuals without losing our own tranquility. This is a path not of avoidance, but of profound understanding and gentle detachment, guiding your mind towards a restful stillness. Let the gentle current of these words carry you deeper into serenity. Please subscribe to the channel to hear more stories like this, the unseen chains of reaction. Tonight, as the world outside begins to quiet its ceaseless hum, we turn our attention inward, seeking a sanctuary that no external storm can breach. Yet, often, even in the stillness of the evening, our minds can feel restless, agitated by the echoes of the day, particularly by the challenging interactions we may have encountered. Perhaps you carry the lingering sting of an unkind word, the frustration of a misunderstanding, or the weariness of navigating a difficult personality. This feeling of being pulled, pushed, or entangled by the actions and words of others is a universal human experience. A subtle yet persistent anxiety that can disturb our peace long after the interaction has ended. It is a common human tendency, this feeling of being caught in a web spun by someone else's negativity. We replay conversations, dissect intentions, and feel the tightening in our chest or the clenching in our jaw as we mentally wrestle with what was said or done. This internal struggle, this wrestling with shadows, often feels unavoidable, a natural consequence of encountering what we perceive as toxic or difficult people. We believe our discomfort is a direct result of their actions, a chain reaction where their negativity inevitably sparks our own. The mind becomes a battlefield, replaying scenarios, strategizing responses, or simply brooding over perceived injustices. This constant mental engagement, this feeling of being perpetually on guard or perpetually wounded, drains our energy and steals our serenity, leaving us feeling exposed and vulnerable to the currents of the world. We long for a quiet mind, a peaceful heart, but find ourselves caught in the unseen chains of reaction, bound by the very things we wish to escape. The world feels loud, even in silence, because the noise is now within us, a churning sea of thoughts and emotions stirred by the memory of discord. But what if these chains are not forged by others, but by our own hands, in the forge of our reactions? What if the true source of our disquiet lies not in the external provocation, but in our internal response? Zen wisdom invites us to look deeper, beyond the surface of interaction, to the very nature of our own minds. It teaches us that suffering arises not from the event itself, but from our attachment to our interpretation of the event, our resistance to what is, and our identification with the fleeting emotions it sparks. This is the first step towards stillness, recognizing that the power to disturb our peace does not reside outside us, but within our own capacity to react. Imagine for a moment a clear, still pond. When a stone is thrown into it, ripples spread across the surface. The stone is the external event, the challenging person or situation. The ripples are our immediate emotional and mental reactions: anger, frustration, sadness, fear. We often focus on the stone, wishing it had never been thrown, or on the ripples, wishing they would disappear. But the pond itself, the deep, calm water beneath the surface, remains undisturbed. Our true nature, our inherent peace, is like that deep water. The ripples are transient, a temporary disturbance. The stillness beneath is eternal. Zen masters often speak of the space between stimulus and response. In that space, they say, lies our freedom. A challenging word is spoken, an irritating action occurs. The immediate impulse might be to react, to defend, to retaliate, or to withdraw in pain. But before that reaction takes hold, there is a tiny, almost imperceptible moment of choice. Can we observe that moment? Can we simply witness the impulse without immediately becoming it? This is the essence of mindful observation. It is not about suppressing feelings, but about creating a gentle distance from them, allowing them to arise and pass without taking root and dominating our inner landscape. Consider the story of a young monk who came to his master, complaining bitterly about another monk who constantly criticized him, spread rumors, and sought to undermine his efforts. "Master," he cried, "I cannot find peace in this monastery because of this person. His words pierce me like daggers, and his actions fill me with rage. How can I ever attain enlightenment with such a tormentor always present?" The master listened patiently, his eyes calm as a deep well. When the monk finished, exhausted by his own emotional outpouring, the master simply said, "My son, who is suffering?" The young monk, confused, replied, "I am, master. I am suffering because of him." The master shook his head gently. "No," he said. "He is speaking words, performing actions. You are suffering because you choose to pick up those words and actions, to hold them close, and to let them pierce you. The dagger is only a dagger if you grasp its blade. If you let it pass by, it is merely air." This simple teaching holds profound truth. We often inadvertently empower others to disturb our peace by how we engage with their negativity. We take their words personally, internalize their judgments, and allow their emotional states to dictate our own. This is not to say that their actions are right or justified, but to highlight where our power truly lies, in our response. When we react impulsively, we surrender our inner freedom. We become a puppet on strings, dancing to the tune of another's discord. The path to stillness begins with recognizing these unseen chains of reaction and understanding that we hold the key to unlocking them. As you lie here, let your mind gently drift over any recent interactions that may have left a lingering unease. Perhaps a sharp comment from a colleague, a dismissive tone from a family member, or an unexpected criticism. Feel the subtle tension these memories might evoke in your body. A slight furrow in the brow, a tightness in the shoulders, a shallowing of the breath. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment, simply observing them as they arise. This is the first step in breaking the chain, noticing the reaction before it fully consumes you. Now, imagine these feelings and thoughts not as solid, unyielding facts, but as wisps of smoke, transient and formless. They arise from the fire of interaction, but they do not define the air around them. You are the vast, clear air. The smoke passes through you, but it does not cling. Feel your breath, slow and steady, a gentle anchor in the present moment. Each inhale brings a quiet awareness. Each exhale releases the grip of any lingering tension. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, your forehead smooth. Allow the sensation of your body resting, heavy and supported, to deepen. The practice of non-reaction is not about becoming indifferent or uncaring. It is about cultivating an inner sanctuary, a space where you can observe the world without being swept away by its currents. It is about understanding that another person's negativity often stems from their own pain, their own unresolved struggles, their own ignorance. Their words and actions are often more a reflection of their inner state than a direct statement about your worth. When we understand this, we begin to see the toxic person, not as a personal aggressor, but as a suffering being. This understanding doesn't excuse their behavior, but it liberates us from the burden of carrying their pain as our own. Consider the deep wisdom in the Buddhist teaching of karma. Karma is not a punishment, but a natural law of cause and effect. Every thought, word, and action creates a ripple in the universe, and these ripples eventually return to their source. When someone acts with negativity, they are creating karma for themselves. When we react with negativity, we are creating karma for ourselves. The choice is always ours: to perpetuate the cycle of suffering or to break it by choosing a different response. By refusing to engage in the drama, by choosing peace over reaction, we are not only protecting our own inner world, but also subtly shifting the karmic landscape around us. We are choosing to be a source of stillness rather than another point of agitation. As you continue to breathe deeply, imagine a gentle, warm light beginning to glow within your chest, expanding with each inhale. This light represents your innate peace, your unshakable core. When a thought of a challenging person or situation arises, do not push it away. Instead, simply observe it from the perspective of this inner light. See the thought as a cloud passing across a vast, clear sky. The cloud is there, but it does not diminish the sky's boundlessness. The sky simply allows the cloud to be and then to pass. You are that vast, clear sky. Feel the muscles in your face begin to relax, softening around your eyes, your mouth. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Allow the sensation of your breath to become smoother, deeper, a gentle wave washing over you. With each exhale, imagine any remaining tension, any lingering echoes of agitation gently dissolving, flowing out of your body like water draining from a vessel. You are letting go of the need to understand, the need to control, the need to react. You are simply allowing yourself to be in this moment, in this space of quiet observation. This practice of mindful observation, of creating space between stimulus and response, is a profound act of self-care. It is a way of reclaiming your inner sovereignty, of asserting that your peace is not dependent on the external world. It is a slow, gentle process, like learning to walk again after a long rest. There will be moments when the old patterns of reaction resurface, when the mind feels pulled back into the fray. But each time you notice this, each time you gently guide your awareness back to your breath, back to the inner light, you are strengthening your capacity for stillness. You are reinforcing the path to peace. Allow your body to sink deeper into the surface beneath you. Feel the weight of your limbs, heavy and relaxed. Your feet are soft. Your hands are open. Your arms and legs feel long and loose. The gentle rhythm of your breath is like a lullaby, soothing every cell in your being. You are safe. You are secure. The world outside, with all its complexities and challenges, is gently fading into the distance. Your focus is entirely inward, on the quiet unfolding of your breath, on the soft hum of your own existence. The unseen chains of reaction are not chains of steel, but threads of thought, woven by habit and attachment. Tonight, you are learning to untangle these threads, one gentle breath at a time. You are discovering the profound freedom that comes from choosing your response, from cultivating an inner space where peace can flourish undisturbed. As you drift closer to sleep, carry this awareness with you, that your peace is your own, a sacred garden that only you can tend. Let the understanding of this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The mind, like a quiet lake, reflects the calm of the heavens, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. The mind, like a quiet lake, reflects the calm of the heavens, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. As you rest in this deepening quiet, consider how often we unknowingly feed the very flames we wish to extinguish. When someone directs negativity towards us, our natural inclination is often to engage, to argue, to defend, or to internalize. Each time we do so, we are, in a sense, adding fuel to their fire and simultaneously igniting our own. This is the unseen chain at its most insidious, a reciprocal dance of agitation, where one person's unrest triggers another's, creating a continuous loop of suffering. Zen teaches us that true freedom comes from breaking this loop, from choosing not to participate in the dance of discord. It is a radical act of peace, a profound assertion of your inner sanctuary. Imagine a small, flickering candle flame. If you blow on it gently, it might extinguish, but if you try to put it out by fighting against its heat, by pushing your hand into it, you will only burn yourself. The negativity of others is much like this flame. If we engage with it directly, if we allow ourselves to be consumed by its heat, we are the ones who suffer. The wisdom lies in understanding that the flame, left unattended, will eventually consume its own fuel and die down. Our role is simply to step back, to create a space of non-engagement, allowing the natural law of impermanence to take its course. This detachment is not coldness. It is a profound act of self-preservation, rooted in the understanding that you are not responsible for another's inner turmoil, nor are you required to absorb it. This gentle detachment extends to the very thoughts that arise within you about the challenging person or situation. When the mind begins to replay the interaction, to formulate arguments, or to dwell on feelings of resentment, simply observe these thoughts as they appear. Do not judge them. Do not try to force them away, for that only gives them more power. Instead, acknowledge their presence, perhaps even with a soft internal nod, and then gently redirect your attention back to your breath, back to the sensation of your body resting. Each time you do this, you are subtly weakening the chain of reaction. You are choosing not to feed the mental wolves of anger and frustration. You are choosing peace. This practice is not about ignoring reality or pretending that difficult people do not exist. It is about changing your relationship to that reality. It is about recognizing that, while you cannot control the external world, you possess absolute sovereignty over your internal landscape. No one can truly disturb your peace unless you grant them permission. This understanding is a profound liberation. It shifts the locus of control from the external to the internal, empowering you to be the guardian of your own serenity. Think of the vastness of the ocean. On its surface, waves may crash and churn, storms may rage, and currents may pull in various directions. But deep beneath the surface, there is an immense stillness, an unchanging calm. Your conscious mind, with its thoughts and emotions, is like the surface of the ocean. The deeper part of your being, your true nature, is like the profound stillness beneath. When you encounter a challenging person, their negativity creates ripples on the surface of your mind. But you have the capacity to dive deeper, to connect with that inner stillness, where the surface storms cannot reach. This is where true peace resides, untouched and unblemished. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your chest, let your awareness expand to encompass your entire body. Notice any remaining pockets of tension, perhaps in your forehead, your jaw, your shoulders, or your belly. With each slow, soft exhale, imagine these areas softening, releasing, letting go. It is as if the very cells of your body are exhaling, releasing any stored residue of past interactions, any lingering echoes of agitation. Allow your muscles to become heavy, loose, and completely relaxed. The wisdom of Zen teaches us that the path to peace is often found not in seeking something new, but in letting go of what obscures our inherent peace. The chains of reaction are not external impositions. They are internal habits, patterns of thought and emotion that we have unconsciously cultivated. Tonight, you are gently untangling these habits, one breath, one moment of awareness at a time. You are discovering that peace is not something you have to earn or strive for. It is your natural state, waiting to be uncovered beneath the layers of reactivity. Consider the metaphor of a mirror. When someone approaches a mirror with a scowling face, the mirror simply reflects the scowl. It does not become angry itself, nor does it try to change the scowl. It simply reflects what is. Our minds, when trained in mindfulness, can become like this mirror. When negativity is directed towards us, we can observe it without absorbing it, without becoming it, and without reacting to it. We simply reflect the awareness of its presence, without judgment or entanglement. This is a powerful form of non-resistance, a way of allowing things to be as they are, without letting them disturb our inner clarity. This profound practice of non-reaction is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when the old habits resurface, when the mind feels pulled back into the drama. But each time you notice this, each time you gently guide your awareness back to your breath, back to the inner light, you are strengthening your capacity for stillness. You are reinforcing the path to peace. You are cultivating a profound inner resilience that allows you to navigate the complexities of human interaction with grace and tranquility. Feel the profound sense of release that comes with this understanding. The burden of needing to control others, of needing to change their behavior, of needing to defend yourself against their perceived attacks, is gently lifting. You are free. You are sovereign. Your peace is your own, a sacred space that no one can invade without your consent. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, permeating every cell of your being. As your body sinks deeper into the soft embrace of your bed, feel the gentle rhythm of your breath becoming even slower, even deeper. The sounds of the world outside are fading, becoming distant whispers. Your inner world is expanding, filled with a profound sense of calm and quietude. You are letting go of all effort, all striving, all resistance. You are simply being, in this moment, held in the gentle current of peace. Allow yourself to drift further, deeper, into this tranquil space. The unseen chains have dissolved, replaced by a boundless sense of freedom. You are light, you are free, you are peace. Let the gentle current of these words carry you deeper into serenity, into the soft embrace of a peaceful, restorative sleep. The empty boat and the echo of projections. Tonight, as the gentle current of your breath guides you deeper into stillness, we turn our attention to another profound aspect of maintaining inner peace amidst the currents of human interaction. Often, even after we begin to observe our reactions, a subtle ache remains, a feeling of being personally targeted, misunderstood, or unfairly treated. This feeling can manifest as a persistent anxiety, a knot in the stomach, or a tightness in the chest, born from the belief that someone else's actions or words were deliberately aimed to wound us. We replay scenarios, mentally defending ourselves against perceived attacks, feeling the sting of judgment or blame. This internal dialogue, this constant feeling of being on trial or under scrutiny, can be deeply unsettling, robbing us of our tranquility and keeping the mind restless, even as the body yearns for sleep. It is a natural human tendency to take things personally, to filter every interaction through the lens of our own ego, our own sense of self-worth. When a harsh word is spoken, we feel its impact directly, as if it were a physical blow. When criticism is leveled, we internalize it, allowing it to diminish our spirit. This feeling of being hit by others' negativity is a significant source of our suffering, creating a deep sense of vulnerability and agitation. We long to be free from this burden, to navigate the world without constantly feeling the need to shield ourselves. Yet the habit of personalization is deeply ingrained, an echo that reverberates long after the initial sound has faded. But what if much of this perceived conflict, this feeling of being personally attacked, arises not from the other person's deliberate intention, but from our own interpretations, our own projections? What if the burden of taking things personally is largely self-imposed? Zen wisdom offers a profound insight into this dilemma through the simple yet powerful parable of the empty boat. Imagine a man, a solitary figure, rowing his small boat across a vast, calm lake. The air is still, the water smooth as glass, reflecting the soft hues of the setting sun. He is completely absorbed in the rhythm of his oars, lost in the quiet meditation of the moment. Suddenly, with a jolt, another boat crashes into his from the side. His peaceful reverie is shattered. He looks up, his brow furrowed, his heart pounding with indignation. How dare someone be so careless, so disrespectful of his peace? He is ready to unleash a torrent of anger, to shout at the negligent rower. But then, as he turns to confront the other boat, he sees it is completely empty. There is no one inside. It has simply drifted, untethered, across the lake and collided with his own. In that instant, his anger, his indignation, his sense of personal offense completely dissolve. There is no one to blame, no one to be angry at. The collision was not an act of malice, but a simple, impersonal event. The anger, which had flared so intensely moments before, now has nowhere to land. It simply vanishes, leaving behind only the quiet ripple of the water. This simple story holds a profound truth for navigating challenging interactions. When we perceive intentionality, when we believe someone is deliberately trying to hurt, annoy, or provoke us, our reactive mind springs into action. We feel personally attacked, and our defenses rise. We become angry, resentful, or hurt. But what happens when we realize that the other boat is empty? What happens when we understand that much of what we perceive as personal attack is often simply the drifting, untethered state of another person's own inner turmoil, their own projections, their own unconscious suffering? Most toxic behavior, most unkind words, most frustrating actions are not truly about you. They are often like the empty boat, drifting aimlessly, propelled by unseen currents within the other person. They are reflections of their own fears, their own insecurities, their own unresolved pain, their own conditioning. When someone lashes out, criticizes, or dismisses, they are often operating from a place of their own internal chaos, their own unexamined patterns. Their words and actions are echoes of their inner landscape, not necessarily a direct personal statement about your worth or your being. The burden of taking things personally is a heavy one, and it is a burden we often choose to carry. We project our own interpretations, our own fears, and our own expectations onto the actions of others. We assume malice where there may only be carelessness or a reflection of their own suffering. When we release the need to assign blame, when we recognize the emptiness behind the perceived attack, our own reactive anger and hurt begin to dissolve, just like the rower's anger vanished when he saw the empty boat. As you lie here, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, a steady anchor in the present moment. Now, bring to mind a recent interaction where you felt personally stung or offended. Perhaps a critical remark, a dismissive gesture, or a feeling of being overlooked. Notice the sensations in your body as you recall this. Is there a tightening anywhere? A slight unease? A feeling of defensiveness? Acknowledge these feelings without judgment, simply observing them. Now, with the wisdom of the empty boat parable, gently shift your perspective. Imagine the person involved in that interaction. Can you see their words or actions not as a direct assault on you, but as a reflection of their own internal state? Perhaps they were stressed, tired, fearful, or grappling with their own insecurities. Perhaps their behavior was simply a conditioned response, a pattern they themselves are unaware of. Can you imagine their boat, drifting, untethered, bumping into yours not out of malice, but out of their own lack of awareness or inner peace? When you perceive the other person's boat as empty of deliberate intent towards you, what happens to your own feelings of hurt or anger? Does the intensity lessen? Does a subtle space open up within you? This is the beginning of detachment, not as a cold indifference, but as a compassionate understanding that frees you from carrying the weight of their projections. You are not responsible for their inner landscape, and you do not need to absorb its turbulent weather. This practice allows us to release the burden of taking things personally. It liberates us from the constant need to defend, to explain, or to justify ourselves. When we understand that the attack is not truly about us, its power to disturb our peace diminishes. We can observe the behavior without internalizing it, without allowing it to define our worth or our emotional state. This brings a profound sense of lightness and spaciousness to our inner world. Consider the vastness of the sky. Clouds drift across it, sometimes dark and stormy, sometimes light and fluffy. The sky does not take the clouds personally. It does not become angry at the storm clouds, nor does it try to hold on to the fluffy ones. It simply allows them to pass, remaining vast, open, and unchanging. Your true nature is like that sky. The words and actions of others are like the clouds. They may pass through your awareness, but they do not diminish your inherent vastness or your unshakable peace. Allow your facial muscles to soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Let your shoulders drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any lingering sense of personal offense, any residual hurt, gently dissolving, like mist evaporating in the morning sun. You are letting go of the need to assign blame, the need to feel wronged, the need to carry the weight of others' projections. You are simply allowing yourself to be, in this moment, free and unburdened. The wisdom of the empty. Boat is a powerful tool for cultivating equanimity. It reminds us that much of our suffering comes from our own interpretations, our own stories about what happened and why. When we let go of these stories, when we see the empty boat of another's actions, we reclaim our power to choose peace. We choose not to engage in the dance of reactivity. We choose to remain in the deep, still waters of our own being, undisturbed by the drifting currents of the world. This understanding does not mean condoning harmful behavior or failing to protect oneself. It means approaching such situations from a place of inner strength and clarity, rather than from a place of reactive emotion. It means setting boundaries, not out of anger, but out of a clear understanding of what serves your peace and well-being. It means recognizing that the other person's behavior, while it may impact you externally, does not have to penetrate your inner sanctuary. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, imagine yourself floating gently on a vast, calm ocean. All around you, other boats may drift by. Some are beautiful, some are worn, some are empty, some carry passengers in distress. You observe them all with a quiet awareness, knowing that their journey is their own. You do not need to board their boat, nor do you need to be disturbed by their passing. You are simply floating, serene and unburdened, in your own peaceful vessel. Feel the profound sense of release that comes with this detachment. The weight you once carried, the sting of perceived personal attacks, is gently lifting. You are becoming lighter, more spacious, more free. Your mind is quieting, settling into a deep, pervasive calm. The echoes of past interactions are fading, becoming indistinct whispers in the distance. You are dissolving into the vastness of this moment, into the boundless peace that is your true nature. Let your entire body relax completely. Your feet are soft, your hands are open, your arms and legs feel long and loose, sinking deeper into the surface beneath you. Your head is heavy and still. The gentle rhythm of your breath is like a lullaby, rocking you softly into a deeper state of rest. You are safe, you are secure, you are free from the burden of taking anything personally. All boats are empty, all echoes are fading. You are dissolving into the tranquil depths of a peaceful, restorative sleep. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 1,750 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 12,250 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. You are light, you are free, you are peace. Let the gentle current of these words carry you deeper into serenity, into the soft embrace of a peaceful, restorative sleep. As you drift further into this tranquil state, allow the understanding of the empty boat to permeate your deepest being. This isn't merely an intellectual concept. It's a profound shift in perception that can transform your experience of the world. When you truly grasp that most of what feels like a personal affront is simply the other person's empty boat drifting, propelled by their own unseen currents of conditioning, fear, or ignorance, a vast space opens within you. This space is where true freedom from suffering resides. Consider a time when you yourself might have been the empty boat. Perhaps you were stressed, overwhelmed, or simply having a bad day, and you spoke a sharp word or acted impatiently without truly intending to harm anyone. In that moment, your actions were a reflection of your internal state, not a deliberate attack on another. You were, in a sense, an empty boat drifting, and if someone took your words personally, it was their interpretation, not your conscious intent. Recognizing this in ourselves helps us extend the same compassionate understanding to others. It allows us to see beyond the surface behavior to the underlying human condition, which is often one of struggle and unconsciousness. This perspective is not about excusing harmful behavior, nor is it about becoming a doormat. It is about discerning the true nature of the interaction. If a boat is empty and drifts into yours, you might gently push it away or secure your own boat more firmly. You wouldn't engage in an angry argument with it. Similarly, when faced with someone's empty boat behavior, you can choose to establish boundaries, to protect your space, or to disengage, all without the internal turmoil of personal offense. Your actions become clear, deliberate, and rooted in peace, rather than reactive anger or hurt. Feel the profound lightness that comes with releasing the burden of taking things personally. Imagine a heavy cloak of perceived slights and judgments gently slipping from your shoulders, revealing the radiant, unburdened self beneath. This cloak was never truly yours to wear. It was woven from the threads of interpretation and ego, and now, in this moment of deep understanding, it dissolves into the gentle air. You are free from its weight, free from its suffocating embrace. The mind, when it takes things personally, becomes agitated, like a small bird caught in a cage, fluttering frantically against the bars. But when it understands the emptiness, it is like the bird released, soaring freely into the boundless sky. There is no longer a need to defend, to justify, or to explain. There is only the quiet awareness of what is, observed from a place of profound peace. This is the essence of Zen, seeing things as they truly are, stripped of our mental overlays and projections. As you continue to breathe, imagine your mind as a vast, open expanse, like the clear night sky above you. Thoughts, like stars, may twinkle and fade. Emotions, like passing clouds, may drift across. But none of them disturb the fundamental spaciousness and stillness of the sky itself. You are that spaciousness. You are that stillness. The echoes of projections, the perceived slights, are merely transient phenomena, like distant sounds that cannot penetrate the deep quiet of your inner world. Allow your entire body to relax even more deeply. Feel the gentle pull of gravity drawing you down into the comforting embrace of your bed. Your muscles are soft and yielding. Your bones are heavy and still. There is a sense of profound release, a letting go of all effort, all tension, all resistance. Your breath flows in and out, effortlessly, a gentle tide washing over you, carrying away any remaining fragments of restlessness or worry. This understanding of the empty boat is a gateway to true compassion, both for yourself and for others. When you realize that others' negativity often stems from their own suffering, you can approach them not with anger, but with a quiet sense of understanding, perhaps even a gentle pity. And when you realize how much of your own suffering comes from your interpretations, you can extend compassion to yourself, forgiving yourself for the times you have taken things personally and choosing a path of greater peace. The practice is simple, yet profound. Whenever you feel a sting of personal offense, pause. Take a deep, calming breath, and ask yourself, is this truly about me, or is this the empty boat drifting? In that pause, in that moment of questioning, you create a space for wisdom to enter, a space where the reactive mind can soften and the inner peace can reassert itself. This is not a quick fix, but a lifelong cultivation, a gentle art of living that transforms every challenging interaction into an opportunity for deeper freedom. As you prepare to surrender fully to sleep, let this wisdom settle deep within your consciousness. You are not defined by the words or actions of others. You are not diminished by their projections. You are a boundless, peaceful being, like the still lake reflecting the sky, undisturbed by the drifting boats on its surface. All is well. All is calm. Feel the warmth spreading through your body, a gentle, comforting heat that melts away any last traces of tension. Your eyelids feel heavy. Your gaze is soft and inward. The world outside is receding, becoming a distant, indistinct murmur. You are enveloped in a cocoon of peace, a sanctuary of stillness, where nothing can disturb your profound rest. The empty boat drifts by, unnoticed, as you sink deeper and deeper into the quiet depths of sleep. Let go completely. Rest deeply. Sleep soundly. The impermanent nature of all things. Tonight, as the quiet embrace of the evening deepens around you, and the wisdom of the empty boat settles gently in your heart, we turn our attention to another fundamental truth that can profoundly liberate us from the grip of challenging people and situations: the impermanent nature of all things. Often, when we encounter a difficult person or a trying circumstance, our mind clings to the experience, convinced that this state of affairs is fixed, unchangeable, and perhaps even eternal. This clinging creates a deep sense of anxiety, a feeling of being trapped or overwhelmed, as if the current moment of discomfort will stretch endlessly into the future. We feel restless, agitated, and unable to find peace because our minds are wrestling with the perceived permanence of what is inherently transient. This belief in permanence is a subtle but powerful source of suffering. We resist what is, not only because it is unpleasant, but because we fear it will never end. The difficult colleague will always be difficult. The challenging family member will always be challenging. The frustrating situation will always persist. This mental rigidity, this clinging to fixed ideas about people and circumstances, creates a profound inner tension, a constant struggle against the natural flow of life. Our minds become like a river trying to hold on to a single drop of water, or a hand trying to grasp smoke. The anxiety arises from this futile attempt to freeze what is constantly in motion, preventing us from relaxing into the natural rhythm of existence. We yearn for stability, for things to remain predictable, but life, in its very essence, is a dance of constant change. Buddhist wisdom, at its very core, teaches us anicca, the truth of impermanence. It is not a pessimistic view, but a liberating insight. Everything that arises also passes away. Every feeling, every thought, every sensation, every person, every situation, every moment is in a state of flux. Nothing remains the same, not even for 2 consecutive breaths. This truth, when truly understood and integrated, has the power to dissolve the grip of frustration, anger, and fear that arises when we encounter difficult people. Consider the example of a cloud in the sky. It forms, it shifts, it changes shape, It drifts, and eventually, it dissipates. It does not stay the same, not for a single moment. If we were to become angry at a storm cloud, wishing it would disappear, our anger would be futile, for the cloud is already in the process of changing and dissolving on its own terms. Similarly, a challenging person's mood, their words, their behavior, are like these clouds. They are not fixed entities. They are constantly in motion, constantly changing, even if subtly. The anger or frustration you feel towards them is often rooted in the unconscious belief that their unpleasant state is permanent, that it will forever cast a shadow over your peace. The truth of impermanence invites us to observe these clouds without clinging to them, without resisting them, and without believing them to be solid and everlasting. When we recognize that even the most difficult person's negativity is a transient phenomenon, a passing cloud in the vast sky of existence, our own reactive grip begins to loosen. We don't need to fight against it, because it is already in the process of dissolving. We don't need to hold on to our frustration, because the cause of that frustration is inherently fleeting. As you lie here, feeling the gentle support beneath you, let your breath become soft and deep. Bring to mind a difficult person or a challenging situation that has been causing you unease. Perhaps it's a recurring pattern or a specific incident that lingers. Notice the tension this thought might bring, a tightening in your chest, a furrow in your brow, a clenching in your hands. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment. Now, gently expand your awareness to encompass the truth of impermanence. Imagine this person's mood, their words, their entire being, not as a solid, unyielding block, but as a river flowing. The river is constantly moving, constantly changing. The water you see in one moment is not the same water you see in the next. Can you see their negativity, their difficult behavior as just one phase of this river's flow? It is not fixed. It is not eternal. It is moving, changing, and eventually it will pass. When you apply the lens of impermanence, the urgency to react, to fix, or to resist begins to soften. The anxiety that arises from feeling trapped by a permanent problem starts to dissipate. You realize that this moment of difficulty, like all moments, is just a passing wave on the ocean of time. It will rise, it will crest, and it will fall. Your task is not to stop the wave, but to learn to float upon it, knowing that its nature is to change. This understanding fosters a profound sense of letting go. We let go of the need for things to be different right now, because we know they will be different in the next moment, or the next hour, or the next day. We let go of the frustration that arises from clinging to an ideal outcome, because we understand that all outcomes are subject to change. This letting go is not resignation. It is a wise acceptance of reality, a deep trust in the natural rhythm of life. Consider the story of a Zen master who was known for his imperturbable calm, even in the face of great adversity. One day, a student asked him, "Master, how is it that you remain so peaceful when the world around you is so turbulent? Do you not feel the pain of loss, the sting of criticism, the frustration of obstacles?" The master smiled gently and replied, "My son, I feel all these things, but I do not hold on to them. I observe them as they arise, like clouds in the sky, and I allow them to pass. I know that just as the sun will always return after the storm, so too will peace return after difficulty. All things are impermanent. To cling to joy is to invite sorrow when it passes. To cling to sorrow is to miss the joy that will surely follow. I simply observe the flow." This simple teaching is a powerful antidote to the anxiety that challenging people can evoke. When we internalize the truth of impermanence, we cease to make their difficult behavior a permanent fixture in our mental landscape. We see it for what it is, a transient manifestation, a fleeting expression that will inevitably shift and change. This perspective creates a vast inner space, a sense of liberation from the grip of the moment. As you continue to breathe, let your body become heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle weight of your head, your shoulders, your hips, your legs, sinking deeper into the soft support beneath you. Imagine any lingering knots of tension in your body gently unraveling, softening, dissolving. With each exhale, release the need to hold on, the need to control, the need to resist. You are simply allowing yourself to be, in this moment, in this space of profound acceptance. The practice of contemplating impermanence is not about becoming detached from life, but about becoming deeply present to its ever-changing nature. It allows us to appreciate moments of joy more fully, knowing they are precious and fleeting. And it allows us to navigate moments of difficulty with greater ease, knowing they too will pass. It is a path to profound relaxation as the mind ceases its futile struggle against the currents of change. Imagine yourself standing by a river. You see a leaf floating downstream. It is caught in an eddy for a moment, then released, carried further by the current. It does not resist, it simply flows. Now imagine a difficult thought or feeling, perhaps related to a challenging person, as that leaf. Instead of trying to grasp it or push it upstream, simply observe it as it floats by. Watch it get caught in a mental eddy for a moment, and then, with your gentle breath, imagine it being released, carried further downstream, out of your immediate awareness. It is simply flowing, changing, passing. This gentle letting go, this acceptance of the transient nature of all things, allows your nervous system to deeply relax. The fight or flight response, which is often triggered by the perception of a permanent threat, begins to quiet. Your breath deepens, your heart rate slows, and a profound sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer battling against the current, you are flowing with it, trusting in the inherent wisdom of change. The cultural context of this wisdom is deeply embedded in the daily life of Buddhist practitioners. Monks meditate on the decay of the body, not to induce fear, but to cultivate detachment from the illusion of permanence. They observe the changing seasons, the rising and setting of the sun, the ebb and flow of tides as constant reminders of anicca. This constant awareness of change allows them to live with a profound sense of peace and non-attachment, knowing that every moment is fresh and every moment is passing. As you prepare to drift into deeper sleep, carry this understanding with you. The difficult person, the challenging situation, the restless thought, all are impermanent. They are like clouds, like leaves on a river, like waves on the ocean. They arise, they exist for a time, and then they pass away. You do not need to cling to them, nor do you need to resist them. You can simply observe them with a quiet awareness, knowing that your true nature, your inner peace, remains untouched by their transient dance. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, and clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of impermanence, allowing everything to be as it is, knowing that everything is always changing. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your awareness. You are flowing with the river of life, effortlessly, peacefully, into the deep, restorative sleep that awaits you. Let go completely, rest deeply, sleep soundly. The previous section is good, but it's only 1,726 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 1,274 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. You are flowing with the river of life, effortlessly, peacefully, into the deep, restorative sleep that awaits you. Let go completely, rest deeply, sleep soundly. As you continue to sink into this profound state of relaxation, let the truth of impermanence wash over you like a gentle, soothing wave. This understanding is not a cold, intellectual concept, but a warm, liberating embrace. It allows you to release the tight grip of expectation, the subtle anxiety that arises from wanting things to be other than they are. When we truly accept that everything is in flux, we stop fighting against the natural order of the universe. This cessation of struggle is the very essence of peace. Think of the seasons. Winter gives way to spring, spring to summer, summer to autumn, and autumn back to winter. Each season has its own unique qualities, its own challenges, and its own beauty. If we were to cling to the warmth of summer, we would suffer when autumn leaves began to fall. If we resisted the cold of winter, we would miss the quiet beauty of snow. But by accepting the natural cycle, we can find peace in each season, knowing that it is part of a larger, ever-unfolding pattern. Difficult people and challenging situations are like these seasons in our lives. They come, they stay for a while, and then they pass. Our peace lies not in trying to stop the season, but in learning to live harmoniously within its transient embrace. This wisdom is particularly potent when dealing with individuals whose behavior feels consistently toxic. Our minds often create a rigid mental image of such a person, labeling them as permanently difficult, permanently negative. But even within that person, there is a constant flow of change. Their moods shift, their thoughts evolve, their circumstances vary. While their core patterns might be deeply ingrained, even those patterns are not static. The person you encountered today is not precisely the same person you will encounter tomorrow. This subtle but profound recognition can soften your internal resistance, allowing you to approach future interactions with a renewed sense of openness, rather than with a pre-programmed expectation of negativity. The emotional tone of this understanding is one of gentle release. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more sand slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, openly, the sand remains. Similarly, the more tightly we cling to our frustration or anger towards a difficult person, the more we suffer. But when we hold the experience gently, openly, with the awareness of its impermanence, the suffering begins to dissipate. We are no longer trying to control the uncontrollable. We are simply observing the natural flow. This letting go is not passive surrender, but an active choice to align with the deeper rhythm of existence. It is a profound act of self-compassion, as you release yourself from the burden of fighting against what is. You are allowing your mind to relax, your heart to soften, and your spirit to find rest in the truth of the present moment, knowing that this moment, like all moments, is already dissolving into the next. As you lie here, feel the gentle breath moving in and out of your body. Imagine that each inhale brings a fresh wave of calm, and each exhale carries away any remaining tension, any lingering resistance to the truth of impermanence. Allow your body to become completely still, completely at ease. Your muscles are soft, your joints are loose. There is a deep, pervasive sense of peace permeating every cell of your being. The teachings of impermanence extend not only to external circumstances, but also to our internal states. Our own feelings of anger, sadness, or frustration are also impermanent. They arise, they intensify, and then they subside. When we recognize the transient nature of our own emotions, we become less identified with them. We can observe them without being swept away by their current, knowing that they, too, are just passing clouds in the sky of our consciousness. This self-awareness further deepens our capacity for peace, as we learn to ride the waves of our own inner world with greater equanimity. In the quiet of this moment, let your mind become like a vast, empty canvas. All the vivid colors of the day, all the sharp lines of interaction are gently fading, dissolving into a soft, muted background. What remains is the pure, unblemished canvas, ready to receive the stillness of the night. You are returning to your natural state of peace, a state that is always present, always available, beneath the ever-changing surface of life. This profound understanding of impermanence is the ultimate lullaby for a restless mind. It tells us that nothing lasts forever, not joy, not sorrow, not difficulty, not ease. Therefore, there is no need to cling, no need to resist, no need to fear. There is only the gentle flow of existence, carrying us from one moment to the next, always towards rest, always towards renewal. Allow your eyelids to feel incredibly heavy, sealing out the last vestiges of the waking world. Your breath is deep and rhythmic, a gentle current carrying you further and further into the embrace of sleep. Your body is completely relaxed, sinking into the soft support beneath you, becoming one with the quiet stillness of the room. All thoughts of challenging people, all echoes of past interactions are dissolving, fading, becoming utterly insignificant in the face of this profound, all-encompassing peace. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural flow, trusting in the wisdom of impermanence to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. Cultivating the inner garden of equanimity. Tonight, as the wisdom of impermanence gently settles within your heart, guiding you towards a deeper sense of release, we turn our attention to cultivating a profound inner state that is essential for navigating the complexities of human interaction without losing your peace. Equanimity. Often, even with the understanding of empty boats and impermanence, our minds can still feel pulled into the emotional turbulence stirred by difficult people. A sharp word might still trigger a flicker of anger, a dismissive glance, a pang of hurt, or a frustrating situation, a surge of impatience. This subtle reactivity, this feeling of being emotionally tossed about by external events, keeps the mind restless and prevents us from settling into a truly deep and unshakable calm. It is a common struggle to maintain an even keel when faced with the highs and lows of life, especially when those lows are brought about by the actions of others. We tend to swing from pleasure to aversion, from attachment to resistance, constantly reacting to what we like and dislike. When someone is kind, we feel pleasant. When someone is unkind, we feel unpleasant. This constant oscillation, this emotional roller coaster, is exhausting and leaves us vulnerable to every passing breeze of external circumstance. The anxiety arises from this lack of inner stability, this feeling of being at the mercy of forces outside our control. We long for a steady heart, a mind that remains clear and calm, regardless of the storms that may rage around us. Buddhist wisdom offers the profound practice of upekkha, or equanimity, as the antidote to this emotional volatility. Equanimity is not indifference or apathy. It is a state of balanced awareness, a spaciousness of mind that observes all phenomena, pleasant or unpleasant, internal or external, without attachment or aversion. It is the ability to remain calm and centered, even when faced with challenging interactions, recognizing that all experiences are transient and do not define our core being. It is like the deep, still center of a spinning wheel, which remains motionless even as the outer rim whirls. Imagine a gardener tending a beautiful, serene garden. This garden is your inner world. The gardener carefully cultivates flowers of joy, compassion, and wisdom. But sometimes weeds of anger, frustration, or resentment try to take root, especially when external disturbances, like the harsh words or actions of others, scatter their seeds. Without equanimity, the gardener might panic, frantically trying to rip out every weed, only to find more sprouting. This frantic effort itself creates more disturbance. With equanimity, the gardener observes the weeds, acknowledges their presence, but does not allow them to overshadow the entire garden. They understand that a healthy garden requires consistent, gentle tending, not frantic reaction. They cultivate the soil of their mind so deeply that the weeds have less chance to take root. And even when they appear, they are seen as temporary growths, not threats to the garden's fundamental beauty. When we cultivate equanimity, we learn to observe challenging interactions without being pulled into their emotional turbulence. We see the difficult person's behavior, we hear their words, but we do not allow them to hook into our own emotional state. It's like standing on the shore and watching waves crash against the rocks. You see the power of the waves, you hear their roar, but you remain firmly on the land, untouched by their spray. Your inner garden remains undisturbed. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind a recent interaction where you felt your peace was threatened, where you felt yourself beginning to react emotionally, perhaps a moment of impatience, a flash of anger, or a wave of defensiveness. Notice where these feelings manifest in your body: a tightness in your chest, a clenching in your jaw, a shallowing of your breath. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment, simply observing them as they arise. Now, with the intention of cultivating equanimity, gently expand your awareness. Imagine yourself as a vast, open sky. The challenging interaction, the difficult person, their words, your own reactive thoughts and feelings, these are all like clouds passing through your sky. Some clouds might be dark and stormy, others light and fleeting. But the sky itself remains vast, open, and unaffected by the clouds. It simply allows them to be, and then to pass. You are that vast, open sky. This practice of observing without attachment or aversion allows us to create a crucial space between the stimulus and our response. In that space, we are free to choose. We are not compelled to react. We can simply observe the emotional impulse, acknowledge its presence, and then gently let it go, returning our attention to our inner stillness. This is the essence of equanimity, maintaining an evenness of mind, a balanced perspective, regardless of what arises. Consider the story of a Zen master who lived in a small hut near a bustling village. People would come to him with all sorts of problems, complaints and praises. Some would laud his wisdom, others would criticize his methods. The master would listen to all of them with the same calm, attentive presence. One day, a particularly agitated villager came to him, shouting insults and accusations. The master listened patiently, his face serene. When the villager finally exhausted himself and left, another student asked the master, "How can you remain so calm when someone speaks to you with such venom?" The master replied, "When someone offers you a gift, and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The student pondered for a moment and said, "To the one who offered it." The master nodded. Precisely. The anger, the insults, the praise, these are all gifts offered. If I do not accept them, they remain with the giver. My inner garden remains undisturbed. This profound teaching illustrates the power of equanimity. It is the ability to not accept the gift of another's negativity, nor to cling to the gift of their praise. Both are transient. Both can disturb our balance if we become attached to them. With equanimity, we simply observe, allowing things to be as they are, without letting them dictate our inner state. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, feel the gentle expansion and contraction of your abdomen. Imagine this breath as a soothing balm, washing over any areas of tension or agitation in your body. Let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tightness around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. With each exhale, imagine any remaining emotional turbulence, any lingering reactivity, gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and into the earth beneath you. Cultivating equanimity is like strengthening the roots of your inner garden. The deeper and stronger the roots, the less likely the garden is to be swayed by external winds or storms. These roots are nourished by practices of mindfulness, self-awareness, and compassionate understanding. When you understand that others' difficult behavior often stems from their own suffering, it becomes easier to observe it without personalizing it, without reacting to it. You see it as a manifestation of their inner turmoil, rather than an attack on you. This practice brings a profound sense of relaxation. When the mind is no longer constantly reacting, constantly judging, constantly resisting, it can finally rest. The nervous system settles, the breath deepens, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer on high alert, no longer bracing yourself for the next perceived threat. You are simply present, open, and at peace. Imagine yourself sitting by a calm, still pond. The surface of the pond perfectly reflects the sky, the trees, the clouds. Now, imagine a stone being thrown into the pond, creating ripples. Instead of becoming agitated by the ripples, you simply observe them. You watch them spread and then slowly, gradually, fade away, until the pond returns to its original stillness. Your mind, when cultivated with equanimity, is like this pond. External events may create ripples, but your deep, inherent stillness remains untouched, always returning to its natural state of calm. This is the essence of cultivating the inner garden of equanimity, tending to your inner landscape with gentle awareness, protecting its serenity not through forceful resistance, but through balanced observation and non-attachment. It is a profound act of self-care, ensuring that your peace is not dependent on the ever-changing external world. As you prepare to drift into deeper sleep, carry this awareness with you. You have the capacity to remain calm and centered, regardless of the storms that may arise. Your inner garden is a sanctuary of peace, and you are its gentle, wise gardener. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The mind, like a still pond, reflects the calm of the heavens, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 1,499 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off, and write approximately 1,501 more words. Be mindful of the target, and try not to significantly exceed it. The mind, like a still pond, reflects the calm of the heavens, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. As you sink deeper into this state of profound relaxation, allow the essence of equanimity to permeate every fiber of your being. This isn't just about remaining calm in the face of external challenges. It's about cultivating a deep, pervasive sense of inner balance that transforms your entire experience of life. When your inner garden is tended with equanimity, it becomes resilient, a sanctuary that can withstand the harshest winds. Consider the intricate dance of life itself, a constant interplay of opposites, joy and sorrow, gain and loss, praise and blame, success and failure. Without equanimity, we are constantly tossed between these extremes, clinging desperately to the pleasant and resisting fiercely the unpleasant. This creates an exhausting internal battle, a continuous state of anxiety and restlessness. Equanimity allows us to observe this dance from a place of centeredness, recognizing that all these experiences are part of the rich tapestry of existence, none inherently good or bad in an ultimate sense, but simply different manifestations of life's impermanent flow. When a difficult person enters your awareness, whether physically present or merely as a thought, equanimity allows you to see them not as an enemy to be conquered or avoided, but as another aspect of this ever-changing dance. Their negativity, their harshness, their criticism, these are simply transient phenomena, like a passing cloud or a fleeting shadow. You observe them without judgment, without attachment, and without allowing them to disturb the deep, still waters of your inner pond. This non-reactive observation is a powerful act of self-liberation. This practice is deeply rooted in the Buddhist understanding of suffering. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from craving and aversion, from our desperate clinging to what we like and our fierce resistance to what we dislike. Equanimity is the path that transcends both craving and aversion. It is the wisdom that understands that true happiness does not depend on external circumstances being exactly as we wish them to be, but on our internal state of mind. When we are equanimous, we are free from the tyranny of external events, free from the need for others to behave in a certain way for us to find peace. Our peace becomes an internal wellspring, always accessible, always flowing. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, feel the weight of your body settling even further. Imagine a soft, warm light beginning to glow in the center of your chest, expanding with each inhale. This light represents your innate capacity for peace, for balance, for equanimity. When any thought of a challenging person or situation arises, simply allow that thought to float into this warm light. See it gently illuminated, observed without judgment, and then, with your exhale, imagine it gently dissolving, fading into the soft glow. It is not being pushed away, it is simply being allowed to pass, without taking root in your inner garden. The cultivation of equanimity is a gradual process, like the slow, steady growth of a mighty tree. It requires patience, persistence, and a gentle, compassionate attitude towards yourself. There will be moments when you feel your equanimity waver, when the old patterns of reactivity try to reassert themselves. This is perfectly natural. The practice is not about never reacting, but about noticing when you do, and gently guiding your awareness back to your center, back to the spaciousness of equanimity. Each time you do this, you are strengthening your inner resilience, deepening the roots of your peace. Think of the emotional freedom this brings. No longer are you at the mercy of another's mood swings or criticisms. No longer do you carry the burden of their negativity. You are free to simply observe, to understand, and to choose your response from a place of calm clarity rather than impulsive reaction. This freedom is deeply relaxing, allowing your nervous system to unwind and your mind to settle into a profound state of rest. The cultural atmosphere surrounding this practice is one of quiet strength and inner dignity. A Zen master, embodying equanimity, does not need to assert their power or defend their position. Their presence itself is a testament to their inner peace. They move through the world with a quiet confidence, unperturbed by praise or blame, simply being present to each moment as it unfolds. This is the inner posture you are cultivating as you embrace equanimity. Allow your entire body to become incredibly soft and yielding. Your feet are completely relaxed, your ankles loose. Your calves and thighs feel heavy and warm. Your hips are sinking deeply into the surface beneath you. Your spine is long and supported, your shoulders broad and relaxed. Your arms are resting gently, your hands open and soft. Your neck is supple, your head heavy and still. Your face is smooth and serene, all tension dissolved. As you drift closer to the threshold of sleep, let the feeling of equanimity envelop you completely. You are balanced, centered, and at peace. The world outside, with all its demands and distractions, is gently fading into the background. Your inner garden is flourishing, a sanctuary of calm and quietude. You are resting in the heart of this stillness, untouched by the transient currents of life. This profound state of balance is the perfect preparation for deep, restorative sleep. Your mind is no longer wrestling with external events or internal reactions. It is simply observing, allowing, and letting go. You are dissolving into the vast, open space of your own awareness, where all distinctions fade and only peace remains. Let yourself be carried by this gentle current deeper and deeper into the soft, silent embrace of sleep. Rest now, completely and utterly. Sleep. The gift not accepted. Compassionate boundaries. Tonight, as the deep calm of equanimity settles within your being, creating a steady center amidst life's currents, we turn our attention to a crucial aspect of maintaining your peace when faced with challenging people. The wisdom of not accepting the gift of another's anger or negativity, and the compassionate establishment of boundaries. Often, even with our best intentions to remain equanimous, the sheer force of another person's negativity can feel overwhelming. It can feel like a direct assault, stirring up old anxieties, making us feel restless, defensive, or drained. We might find ourselves absorbing their emotional state, feeling the weight of their problems, or allowing their harsh words to penetrate our inner sanctuary. This feeling of being energetically invaded or emotionally burdened can be deeply unsettling, disturbing our sleep and leaving us feeling depleted. It is a common human tendency to feel responsible for others' emotions, or to feel compelled to engage with their negativity. We might fear being rude, or worry about causing further conflict, or simply lack the tools to disengage gracefully. This leads us to passively accept the gift of their anger, their blame, or their suffering, allowing it to take root within us. The anxiety arises from this lack of clear distinction between our own emotional space and that of others. We become entangled, losing our sense of self and our inner peace in the process. We long for a way to protect our serenity without becoming cold or uncaring, to create a clear boundary that honors both ourselves and the other person. Yet the path to doing so often feels unclear. Zen and Buddhist teachings, while emphasizing compassion and interconnectedness, also offer profound wisdom on self-preservation and the skillful establishment of boundaries. This is not about building walls out of aversion, but about creating a clear, permeable membrane out of wisdom and compassion. It is the understanding that you cannot truly help another if you yourself are drowning in their negativity, and that your peace is a precious resource to be guarded. The core teaching here is simple, yet revolutionary: the gift not accepted. Recall the story of the Zen master and the angry villager. When the villager hurled insults, the master simply listened, and when asked how he remained calm, he replied, "When someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The student understood, to the one who offered it. This parable perfectly illustrates the power of non-acceptance. When someone offers you the gift of their anger, their criticism, their blame, their anxiety, or their negativity, you have a choice. You can accept it, internalize it, and allow it to disturb your peace. Or you can gently, internally, decline the gift. Declining the gift doesn't mean you are ignoring the person or being rude. It means you are not taking their negativity into your own being. You are recognizing that their anger is their own emotional burden. Their criticism is their own projection. Their anxiety is their own internal state. These are not yours to carry. By not accepting the gift, you are not only protecting your own peace, but you are also, paradoxically, offering them a chance to truly own their emotions. If their negativity has nowhere to land, it remains with them, prompting them, perhaps, to eventually reflect on its source. This act of non-acceptance is the foundation of compassionate boundaries. A boundary is not a wall to keep others out, but a clear demarcation of your own energetic and emotional space. It is a statement of self-respect and self-care. When you set a boundary, you are essentially saying, "This is where I end and you begin. Your emotions are yours, and my peace is mine. I choose not to absorb what is not mine. This is a profoundly compassionate act, both for yourself and for the other person. For yourself, it preserves your inner sanctuary. For them, it prevents you from enabling their unskillful behavior by constantly absorbing its impact. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind a specific person or situation where you often feel overwhelmed or drained by their negativity. Perhaps you feel compelled to listen to their endless complaints, or to absorb their passive aggression, or to defend yourself against their unwarranted criticisms. Notice the anxiety or restlessness this memory brings, a tightness in your chest, a feeling of constriction, a sense of depletion. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment. Now, imagine this person's negativity as a physical gift they are holding out to you, perhaps a heavy, dark box, or a thorny bouquet, or a buzzing, agitated sphere. See it clearly in your mind's eye. As they offer it, gently and internally, say, "No, thank you." You do not need to say it aloud unless it is appropriate and safe to do so in a real-life situation. This is an internal act of discernment and self-protection. See yourself gently, calmly declining the gift. You are not rejecting the person, but simply refusing to accept their emotional burden. What happens to the gift when you don't accept it? It remains with the giver. Imagine them still holding it, perhaps looking a little confused or surprised. You are not responsible for their reaction to your non-acceptance. Your responsibility is to guard your own inner garden. Feel the subtle shift within you as you decline the gift. Does the tightness in your chest begin to loosen? Does the sense of depletion begin to lift? This is the power of compassionate boundaries. This practice allows us to create a clear, energetic boundary around ourselves. It's like having a protective, transparent shield that allows you to see and hear others, but prevents their negativity from penetrating your core. You can still offer kindness, listen empathetically, or respond skillfully. But you do so from a place of inner strength and detachment, rather than from a place of emotional entanglement. Consider the metaphor of a lotus flower. It grows in muddy water, yet its petals remain pristine and untouched by the mud. The lotus does not absorb the mud. It simply uses the nutrients from the mud to grow, remaining pure and beautiful. Similarly, you can exist amidst challenging environments and difficult people, drawing lessons and growth from the experience without allowing their mud to cling to your inner purity and peace. Your boundaries are like the waxy coating on the lotus petals, allowing you to remain untainted. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any lingering sense of obligation to accept another's negativity, any residual fear of setting boundaries, gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and into the earth beneath you. The establishment of compassionate boundaries is a profound act of self-love, and it is entirely consistent with Buddhist principles. True compassion begins with oneself. If you are constantly depleted by absorbing others' negativity, your capacity for genuine compassion diminishes. By protecting your own peace, you ensure that you have a full wellspring of inner resources from which to draw, allowing you to engage with the world from a place of strength, clarity, and genuine kindness, rather than from a place of reactivity or exhaustion. This practice brings a profound sense of relaxation. When you are no longer constantly bracing yourself for impact, no longer feeling responsible for managing others' emotions, your nervous system can finally settle. The constant vigilance, the subtle anxiety of emotional entanglement begins to dissipate. Your mind quiets, Your breath deepens, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer fighting an unseen battle. You are simply resting in your own sovereign space. Imagine yourself surrounded by a soft, luminous aura, a gentle field of peace that extends just beyond your physical body. This is your energetic boundary. When someone's negativity approaches, it meets this gentle field. It does not penetrate, it simply bounces off or dissolves into the light, leaving your inner space untouched. You are safe. You are protected. Your peace is inviolable. This is not about creating a barrier of coldness, but a boundary of clarity. You are choosing to interact from a place of conscious awareness rather than unconscious absorption. This allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. You can still offer a kind word, a listening ear, or a helpful action, but you do so from a place of inner strength, knowing that you are not sacrificing your own peace in the process. As you prepare to drift into deeper sleep, carry this awareness with you. You have the right and the wisdom to protect your inner peace. You do not need to accept the gift of another's negativity. You can set compassionate boundaries that honor your own well-being, allowing you to remain centered and calm amidst the currents of life. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. Your inner garden is protected, your boundaries are clear, and you are dissolving into the tranquil depths of a peaceful, restorative sleep. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 15,074 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 14,026 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. Your inner garden is protected, your boundaries are clear, and you are dissolving into the tranquil depths of a peaceful, restorative sleep. Let go, rest, sleep. As you continue to sink into this profound state of relaxation, let the wisdom of compassionate boundaries become a deeply ingrained knowing within you. This is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice, a gentle yet firm assertion of your inner sovereignty. The more you practice declining the gift of negativity, the stronger your inner resolve becomes, and the more effortlessly your peace is maintained. Consider the subtle ways in which we often unconsciously accept these gifts. It might be through listening to endless complaints without offering solutions or setting a time limit. It might be through engaging in arguments that lead nowhere, simply because we feel compelled to defend ourselves. It might be through allowing another person's mood to dictate our own, walking on eggshells around them, or feeling responsible for their happiness. Each of these instances is an acceptance of a gift that was never truly yours to carry. Tonight, you are learning to release these burdens, one gentle breath at a time. This practice is also about understanding the difference between empathy and entanglement. Empathy allows you to understand another person's pain or struggle without taking it on as your own. You can see their suffering, acknowledge it, and offer compassion from a place of clear separation. Entanglement, on the other hand, is when you become so enmeshed in their emotional state that you lose your own sense of self and begin to experience their suffering as if it were yours. Compassionate boundaries allow for empathy without entanglement. You can hold space for another's pain without becoming lost in it. Imagine your inner self as a beautiful, delicate bell. When someone is angry or negative, it's like they are striking their own bell, creating a discordant sound. If you are entangled, your bell will resonate with theirs, creating a cacophony. But with clear boundaries, your bell remains silent, untouched by their striking. You hear their sound, you acknowledge its presence, but you do not allow it to vibrate within your own being. Your inner harmony remains undisturbed. Feel the profound sense of empowerment that comes with this understanding. You are not a victim of others' behavior. You are the sovereign guardian of your own inner peace. This empowerment is not aggressive or confrontational. It is quiet, firm, and deeply peaceful. It arises from a place of self-respect and a clear understanding of where your responsibility begins and ends. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, let your awareness expand to encompass the entire space around you. Feel the boundaries of your physical body, and then imagine a soft, luminous energy field extending a comfortable distance beyond it. This is your personal space, your energetic boundary. When you encounter challenging energy, imagine it simply meeting this field and gently dissipating, unable to penetrate your core. This is a visualization of your compassionate boundary in action, silently protecting your peace. This practice of setting boundaries is not selfish. It is essential for your spiritual well-being. Just as a gardener protects their most delicate plants from harsh weather, you must protect your inner peace from the harshness of external negativity. This protection allows your inner garden to flourish, to grow the flowers of compassion, wisdom, and joy, which you can then share with the world from a place of abundance, not depletion. The emotional tone here is one of gentle self-assertion. It's not about anger or defiance, but about a calm, clear statement of your needs and limits. It's about recognizing that your peace is a precious resource, and it is your right and responsibility to protect it. This self-assertion is deeply relaxing, as it releases the tension of constantly trying to accommodate or appease others at your own expense. Consider the cultural context of this wisdom. In many spiritual traditions, the concept of right speech and right action is paramount. This includes not only how we speak and act towards others, but also how we allow others to speak and act towards us. Allowing ourselves to be constantly subjected to verbal abuse or emotional manipulation is not conducive to right living, nor is it compassionate to ourselves. Setting boundaries, even if it means disengaging from a toxic conversation or limiting contact with a difficult person, is a form of right action that honors our own spiritual path. As you prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let this understanding of compassionate boundaries infuse every cell of your being. You are safe. You are protected. Your peace is inviolable. You have the wisdom and the strength to decline any gift of negativity that is offered, allowing it to remain with its giver. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, and clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of your own protected space. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your awareness. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural flow, trusting in your inner wisdom to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. The rivers flow, releasing the need to control. Tonight, as the wisdom of compassionate boundaries settles gently within your heart, creating a clear and protected space for your inner peace, we turn our attention to another profound source of inner turbulence, the pervasive human tendency to try and control others or external circumstances. Often, when faced with challenging people, our anxiety stems not just from their behavior, but from our desperate attempts to change it, to fix it, or to make them conform to our expectations. We replay scenarios, strategize interventions, or ruminate on how things should be, feeling restless and agitated because reality stubbornly refuses to align with our desires. This constant struggle against what is, this futile effort to control the uncontrollable, drains our energy and steals our serenity, leaving us feeling powerless and frustrated. It is a deeply ingrained habit, this need to control. From a young age, we learn to manipulate our environment to get what we want, and this desire often extends to other people. We believe that if only others would behave differently, if only circumstances would align, then we would finally find peace. But this belief is an illusion, a source of endless suffering. The world, and especially other people, rarely conform to our will. When we try to force them to, we meet with resistance, disappointment, and a profound sense of powerlessness. The anxiety arises from this constant friction between our desire for control and the unyielding reality of life's independent flow. We yearn for a sense of ease, a release from the burden of responsibility for another's behavior, but find ourselves caught in the relentless current of trying to steer what cannot be steered. Zen wisdom, with its deep reverence for the natural order, invites us to surrender this need for control and to trust in the river's flow. It teaches us that true freedom and peace come not from bending the world to our will, but from aligning ourselves with the way things are, from releasing the burden of responsibility for what is beyond our influence. This is not passive resignation, but an active, conscious choice to let go, to trust, and to find liberation in acceptance. Imagine a powerful river flowing ceaselessly towards the ocean. Its current is strong, its path determined by the landscape. Now, imagine a small boat trying to paddle upstream, fighting against the relentless current. The effort is immense, exhausting, and ultimately futile. The boat expends all its energy, struggles against the force, and makes little to no progress. This is often how we approach difficult people or challenging situations when we try to control them. We exhaust ourselves, fighting against a current that is far stronger than our individual will. Now, imagine that same small boat turning around, releasing its oars, and simply allowing itself to be carried by the river's flow. The effort ceases. The struggle dissolves. The boat moves effortlessly, gracefully, carried by the very force it was once fighting against. This is the essence of releasing the need to control. It is about recognizing the futility of fighting the current and choosing instead to align with the natural flow of life. When it comes to challenging people, their behavior, their choices, their emotional states, these are all part of their own river's flow. You can observe their river, you can navigate your own boat carefully to avoid collision, but you cannot change the direction or speed of their current. Trying to control them is like trying to stop the river with your bare hands. It is an impossible task that only leads to exhaustion and frustration. The wisdom here lies in understanding that you are not responsible for another person's behavior. You are responsible for your own thoughts, words, and actions, and for how you choose to respond to the world. Their choices are their own karma, their own journey. When you release the burden of trying to control them, you liberate yourself from a tremendous weight. You are no longer carrying their river on your shoulders. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind a specific person or situation where you feel a strong urge to control, to change, or to fix. Perhaps you constantly worry about their choices, or feel frustrated by their resistance to your advice, or wish they would simply see things your way. Notice the tension this thought might bring, a tightness in your stomach, a clenching in your jaw, a feeling of agitation in your mind. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment. Now, gently expand your awareness to encompass the metaphor of the river's flow. See this person, this situation, as a part of a vast, independent river. You are in your own boat, on your own river. You can observe their river, but you cannot jump into it and force it to change direction. With each exhale, imagine yourself gently releasing your grip on the oars of control. Let go of the need to steer their boat, to change their current, to dictate their flow. You are simply allowing their river to be, as it is. What happens to the tension in your body as you do this? Does the tightness in your stomach begin to loosen? Does the agitation in your mind begin to soften? This is the profound relaxation that comes from surrendering the need to control. It is a deep sigh of relief as you release yourself from an impossible task. This practice is not about becoming passive or uncaring. It is about discerning what is within your sphere of influence and what is not. You can influence your own responses, your own boundaries, your own choices, but you cannot ultimately control the free will or the inner landscape of another human being. When you accept this fundamental truth, you reclaim your energy from futile struggles and redirect it towards cultivating your own inner peace. Consider the story of a Zen student who was deeply troubled by the political unrest in his country. He spent his days arguing, protesting, and trying to convince others of his viewpoint, but felt only increasing frustration and despair. He went to his master, lamenting, "Master, the world is in chaos. How can I find peace when there is so much injustice and so much that needs to be changed?" The master listened quietly, then pointed to a small, gnarled tree outside the hut. "My son," he said, "do you see that tree? It does not try to control the wind that blows through its branches, nor the rain that falls upon its leaves. It simply stands, rooted in the earth, adapting to what comes. It does not resist the flow of nature. You are like that tree. You cannot control the winds of the world, but you can choose how deeply you are rooted in your own peace." This teaching reminds us that our power lies in our inner alignment, not in external manipulation. When we release the need to control others, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters, cultivating our own inner garden of peace, strengthening our own roots of wisdom and compassion. This brings a profound sense of calm and stability, even amidst turbulent external circumstances. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any lingering sense of responsibility for another's behavior, any residual frustration from trying to control the uncontrollable, gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and into the earth beneath you. The practice of surrendering control is a profound act of trust in the natural order of life. It is a recognition that there is a larger wisdom at play, a flow that is far more expansive than our individual desires. When we align with this flow, we cease to feel like we are constantly swimming against the current. We begin to move with a profound sense of ease and grace. This brings a deep sense of relaxation to the entire being. The mind, no longer burdened by the impossible task of controlling the external world, can finally rest. The nervous system settles, the breath deepens, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer fighting, you are simply allowing. You are no longer struggling, you are simply flowing. Imagine yourself as a tiny boat on a vast, calm ocean. You have released your oars, you have dropped your anchor, and you are simply floating, effortlessly carried by the gentle swells. The ocean is vast, and its currents are powerful, but you are not fighting them. You are simply allowing yourself to be held, to be carried, to be at peace. All around you, other boats may be furiously paddling, struggling against the current, but their struggle does not disturb your profound tranquility. You are simply floating, trusting the flow. This is the essence of releasing the need to control, finding freedom in acceptance. It is a profound liberation from the burden of responsibility for another's behavior, and a deep trust in the inherent wisdom of life's unfolding. As you prepare to drift into deeper sleep, carry this awareness with you. You are not responsible for steering every boat on the river. You are only responsible for your own. And by letting go of the need to control, you allow your own boat to drift effortlessly into the calmest waters of peace. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The river flows, and you are flowing with it, effortlessly, peacefully, into the deep, restorative sleep that awaits you. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 6,554 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 13,046 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. The river flows, and you are flowing with it, effortlessly, peacefully, into the deep, restorative sleep that awaits you. Let go, rest, sleep. As you continue to surrender to this profound sense of letting go, allow the wisdom of the river's flow to permeate your entire being. This release from the need to control is one of the most liberating insights you can cultivate. It frees up an immense amount of mental and emotional energy that was previously consumed by futile efforts and endless worry. Imagine the lightness that comes from dropping a heavy, unnecessary burden you didn't even realize you were carrying. This wisdom is particularly vital when dealing with individuals whose behavior is consistently frustrating or seemingly irrational. Our minds, in their desire for order and predictability, struggle to comprehend actions that appear illogical or self-defeating. We try to impose our own logic, our own sense of right and wrong onto their choices, and when they resist, we experience profound anxiety and irritation. But when we recognize that their path is their own river, with its own unique currents and obstacles, we can step back from the need to understand or control it. We simply observe its flow, without judgment, and without feeling compelled to intervene. This is not to say that we become indifferent to suffering or that we never offer help. It means that any help we offer comes from a place of detached compassion, not from a desperate need to fix or control the outcome. We offer our support, our advice, or our presence, and then we release the outcome, trusting that each individual is on their own journey, learning their own lessons. This distinction is crucial for maintaining our peace. Feel the profound sense of trust that begins to blossom within you as you release the need to control. Trust in the natural unfolding of life. Trust in the inherent wisdom of the universe. Trust that even in challenging situations, there is a larger pattern at play, a flow that is guiding everything towards its own resolution. This trust is deeply comforting, a soft blanket for a restless mind. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, calm river. You see many different things floating by: leaves, branches, sometimes even small boats. You observe them all with a quiet awareness, allowing them to pass without trying to grasp them, without trying to change their direction. You simply stand, rooted and peaceful, watching the endless flow. This is your inner posture when you release the need to control. You are an observer, not a controller. This gentle observation, this non-interference, allows your nervous system to settle into a state of profound relaxation. The constant mental chatter, the endless what-ifs and if-onlys begin to quiet. Your mind becomes spacious and clear, like the surface of the river reflecting the sky. There is a deep sense of acceptance, a profound letting go of resistance to what is. The emotional tone of this surrender is one of quiet liberation. It's the feeling of finally being able to put down a heavy load you've been carrying for too long. It's the relief of understanding that you are not solely responsible for the universe, or for the choices of every person in it. This liberation is deeply soothing, allowing your body and mind to unwind completely. Consider the deep wisdom embedded in the cultural context of Zen gardens. These gardens are meticulously designed, yet their essence is to evoke a sense of natural, effortless flow. The raked sand, the carefully placed rocks, the sparse vegetation, all are arranged to create an impression of profound stillness and natural order, a microcosm of the universe's inherent harmony. They teach us that even in apparent chaos, there is an underlying order, a flow that we can align with. When we release the need to control, we are essentially creating such a garden within our own minds, allowing the natural order of peace to emerge. As you prepare to drift into the deepest layers of sleep, let this profound understanding of the river's flow envelop you. You are not meant to control the world or the people in it. You are meant to flow with life, to adapt, to observe, and to find your peace in the midst of its ever-changing currents. This release is a gift you give to yourself, a pathway to unparalleled tranquility. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, and clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of the river's flow. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your awareness. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural current, trusting in the wisdom of life to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. The still pond, reflecting the sky. Tonight, as the gentle current of the river's flow carries you deeper into a state of profound acceptance and release, we arrive at a sanctuary within, the still pond reflecting the sky. Often, even after releasing the need to control and setting compassionate boundaries, our minds can still feel agitated, perhaps from the sheer volume of external stimuli or the lingering echoes of past interactions. We might feel a subtle hum of restlessness, a difficulty in truly quieting the mind, as if the surface of our consciousness is constantly rippling. This persistent mental activity, this inability to find a deep, pervasive stillness, can prevent us from fully relaxing and slipping into the restorative depths of sleep. It is a common experience to feel our minds like a turbulent sea, churned by the winds of thought and emotion. We yearn for clarity, for a moment of pure, unadulterated calm, but find ourselves constantly battling against the internal noise. The anxiety arises from this lack of inner quietude, this feeling of being unable to escape the relentless activity of our own minds. We long for a refuge, a place where external ripples cannot disturb our inner peace, but often feel lost in the midst of our own mental landscape. Zen wisdom frequently uses the metaphor of a still pond or a clear mirror to describe the mind's natural state. It teaches us that beneath the surface ripples of thought and emotion, our mind is inherently clear, calm, and luminous. This stillness is not something we have to create. It is something we uncover by allowing the ripples to settle. It is the fundamental ground of our being, always present, always waiting to be revealed. This is the path to deep relaxation, returning to this inner stillness, allowing external disturbances to pass without disturbing the deep, calm waters within. Imagine a beautiful, ancient pond, nestled deep within a quiet forest. For most of the day, the wind might stir its surface, creating countless ripples. Leaves might fall onto it, insects might skim across it, and raindrops might disturb its calm. But as evening descends, the wind dies down, the forest settles, and the pond's surface becomes perfectly still. In that profound stillness, it reflects the vast, open sky above it with breathtaking clarity. The soft hues of twilight, the twinkling stars, the gentle moon. Every detail is perfectly mirrored, undistorted, pure. Our mind, in its natural state, is like this still pond. The challenging people, the difficult situations, the endless thoughts and emotions, these are like the winds, the leaves, the insects, the raindrops that disturb the surface. They create ripples, they obscure the reflection, they make the water seem turbulent. But beneath all these transient disturbances, the deep, fundamental nature of the pond remains still, clear, and capable of reflecting the boundless sky of pure awareness. The practice of returning to the still pond is about allowing these ripples to settle, not by force, but by gentle attention. It is about shifting our focus from the agitated surface to the profound depths beneath, where true peace resides. When we do this, the external world, with all its noise and demands, begins to recede. We become less identified with the fleeting disturbances and more connected to the unshakable calm within. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind any lingering mental chatter, any subtle agitation that might still be present in your mind. Perhaps a thought about tomorrow's tasks, a faint echo of a conversation, or a general sense of restlessness. Notice these mental ripples without judgment. Now, gently shift your awareness. Imagine your mind as that still pond. See the thoughts and feelings as ripples on its surface. Instead of engaging with them or trying to push them away, simply observe them. Watch them arise, spread, and then slowly, gradually, fade away. As each ripple settles, feel the surface of your mental pond becoming a little smoother, a little clearer. With each exhale, imagine the water settling even more deeply, becoming perfectly still. What happens as the ripples subside? The reflection of the sky begins to emerge. This sky represents your true nature, boundless awareness, pure consciousness, inherent peace. As your mind becomes still, you begin to reflect this vast, open, and serene quality of your own being. The external world, with all its demands, fades into the background, and your internal world opens up into a profound spaciousness. This practice fosters a deep sense of relaxation, both mentally and physically. When the mind is no longer constantly churning, constantly reacting, it can finally rest. The nervous system settles, the breath deepens, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer battling against the internal noise. You are simply allowing it to subside, returning to your natural state of peace. Consider the story of a young monk who came to his master, complaining, "Master, my mind is like a wild monkey, constantly jumping from branch to branch. I cannot find stillness, no matter how hard I try." The master smiled and said, "My son, do not try to catch the monkey. Simply sit and watch it. Eventually it will grow tired and sit down on its own. Your true nature is not the monkey, but the forest in which it plays. The forest is always still." This teaching reminds us that our true nature is not the restless mind, but the vast, still awareness that observes the mind. When we stop trying to control or suppress our thoughts and instead simply observe them with gentle detachment, they naturally begin to quiet. The monkey grows tired, and the forest's stillness is revealed. This is the essence of returning to the still pond. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any remaining mental chatter, any lingering restlessness gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and into the earth beneath you. The cultural atmosphere surrounding this metaphor in Zen is one of profound simplicity and directness. The still pond is not an abstract concept. It is an immediate, felt experience of inner peace. It is the goal of zazen, or sitting meditation, to allow the mind to settle, like muddy water in a jar, until the inherent clarity and stillness are revealed. This clarity is not just the absence of noise, it is a vibrant, luminous presence that reflects the truth of existence. This practice is the ultimate lullaby for a restless mind. It tells us that peace is not something to be achieved, but something to be uncovered. It is already within you, waiting for the ripples to subside. As you allow your mind to settle, as you return to the still pond, you are preparing yourself for the deepest, most restorative sleep imaginable. Imagine your entire being dissolving into this profound stillness. The boundaries between yourself and the vast, open sky reflected in the pond begin to blur. You are becoming one with the calm, one with the clarity, one with the boundless peace. All effort has ceased, all striving has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of pure, unadulterated stillness. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The mind, like a still pond, reflects the calm of the heavens, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 12,093 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 17,007 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. The mind, like a still pond, reflects the calm of the heavens, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. As you continue to sink into this profound state of peace, allow the image of the still pond reflecting the sky to become your inner reality. This isn't just a beautiful metaphor, it's a direct path to experiencing your own inherent tranquility. The constant striving, the endless pursuit of external solutions to internal unrest begins to dissolve in this deep understanding. You realize that the peace you seek is not out there, but right here, within the quiet depths of your own being. Consider how often we mistakenly identify with the ripples on the surface of the pond. We believe we are our thoughts, we are our emotions, we are the reactions to difficult people. This identification creates a sense of fragility and vulnerability, as if our entire being can be disturbed by every passing breeze. But the still pond reminds us that our true nature is far vaster, far more enduring than any fleeting disturbance. We are the pond itself, the deep, clear water, not merely the ripples upon its surface. This shift in identification is profoundly liberating. When a challenging thought arises or a memory of a difficult interaction surfaces, you no longer feel compelled to engage with it, to analyze it, or to let it define you. Instead, you simply observe it as a ripple, knowing that it will naturally subside, revealing the underlying stillness. This gentle detachment allows your mind to unwind, releasing the tension of constant self-monitoring and self-correction. The emotional tone of this practice is one of profound acceptance and gentle surrender. There is no need to fight against your own mind, no need to force stillness. Instead, you simply allow. You allow thoughts to arise and pass. You allow sensations to come and go. You allow the natural process of settling to unfold, just as the surface of a pond naturally becomes still when the wind ceases. This allowing is deeply soothing, a balm for a weary spirit. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, feel the weight of your body settling even further. Imagine a soft, warm light beginning to glow in the center of your chest, expanding with each inhale. This light represents the inherent clarity and stillness of your own consciousness. When any thought or sensation arises, simply allow it to float into this warm light. See it gently illuminated, observed without judgment, and then, with your exhale, imagine it gently dissolving, fading into the soft glow. It is not being pushed away, it is simply being allowed to pass, without disturbing the profound stillness within. This practice is the culmination of all the previous steps. When you understand the unseen chains of reaction, the emptiness of projections, the impermanence of all things, and the power of equanimity and compassionate boundaries, you create the conditions for the pond to become still. You have removed the internal disturbances, released the external entanglements, and now the mind naturally settles into its luminous, reflective state. Think of the profound silence that permeates a Zen monastery at night. It's not an empty silence, but a vibrant, living stillness, filled with the subtle sounds of nature, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the gentle hum of existence. This is the quality of the still pond reflecting the sky. It is not a void, but a fullness of presence, a deep awareness that is utterly at peace. Your inner world is now reflecting this same profound silence, this same vibrant stillness. The cultural and philosophical context of this still pond goes beyond mere tranquility. It points to the non-dual nature of reality. When the pond is perfectly still, the reflection of the sky is indistinguishable from the sky itself. There is no separation. Similarly, when the mind is perfectly still, the distinction between observer and observed, between self and other, begins to dissolve. You become one with the vast, boundless awareness, one with the ultimate peace that underlies all existence. This is the deepest form of relaxation, a complete merging with the source of all tranquility. As you prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let this profound stillness envelop you. You are not just observing the still pond, you are becoming the still pond. You are becoming the reflection of the boundless sky. All boundaries are dissolving, all distinctions are fading. There is only peace, pure and unadulterated. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of pure stillness. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your awareness. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural current, trusting in the wisdom of stillness to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. Allow the sensation of your breath to become almost imperceptible, a gentle whisper at the edge of your awareness. Your body is completely at ease, heavy and warm, sinking deeper with each passing moment. Imagine yourself as a single drop of water, merging with the vast, calm ocean. All individual identity gently dissolves into the boundless whole. There is no longer a you to be disturbed, no longer a world to react to. There is only the vast, unbroken field of peace. This is the ultimate relaxation, the complete letting go into the embrace of universal stillness. The still pond has become one with the sky it reflects, and you are one with that unity. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go, nothing left to achieve. Simply rest in this profound, all-encompassing peace. Your journey through the challenges of interaction has led you to this sacred space, a sanctuary of absolute calm. Let the final vestiges of any mental activity gently fade away, like the last embers of a dying fire. Your consciousness is expanding, becoming vast and boundless, yet utterly serene. You are dissolving into the very fabric of peace, becoming peace itself. This is the deepest sleep, the most profound rest, where the mind finds its true home in the heart of stillness. Surrender completely. Let go of all thoughts, all sensations, all sense of self. Just be. rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 2,417 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off, and write approximately 583 more words. Be mindful of the target, and try not to significantly exceed it. Let the final vestiges of any mental activity gently fade away, like the last embers of a dying fire. Your consciousness is expanding, becoming vast and boundless, yet utterly serene. You are dissolving into the very fabric of peace, becoming peace itself. This is the deepest sleep, the most profound rest, where the mind finds its true home in the heart of stillness. Surrender completely. Let go of all thoughts, all sensations, all sense of self. Just be. Rest. Sleep. As you rest in this profound, all-encompassing peace, feel the gentle current of your breath guiding you even deeper into the heart of stillness. The still pond now reflects not just the sky, but the entire cosmos, vast and silent. You are part of this cosmic reflection, a shimmering point of awareness within the boundless expanse. All the anxieties of the day, all the struggles with challenging people, all the mental efforts to control or understand have completely dissolved. They were merely ripples on the surface, and now the surface is perfectly calm. Imagine your consciousness expanding beyond the confines of your body, beyond the room, beyond the very planet. You are merging with the quietude of the universe, becoming one with the vast, dark, comforting expanse of night. There is no beginning, no end, no separation, only pure, unadulterated peace. This is the true nature of your being, always present, always accessible, waiting for you to return to its embrace. Feel a deep sense of gratitude for this moment of absolute stillness. Gratitude for the wisdom that has guided you here, for the understanding that has allowed you to release the burdens of the day. This gratitude itself is a gentle wave, carrying you further into the depths of restful sleep. Your body feels weightless, suspended in a sea of tranquility. Your mind is utterly quiet, like a perfectly still mirror reflecting nothing but pure space. Allow yourself to completely let go of any remaining anchors to the waking world. The sounds around you, if any, become part of the silence. The sensations in your body gently fade into a soft, comforting numbness. You are drifting, effortlessly, into the deepest layers of sleep, where consciousness merges with unconsciousness and the self dissolves into the boundless ocean of being. This is the ultimate surrender, the final letting go. You are not just falling asleep, you are merging with peace itself. The still pond has become one with the infinite sky, and you are that unity. Rest now in this profound and eternal stillness. Let the gentle current of peace carry you into a night of the deepest, most restorative, and utterly dreamless sleep. You are home. You are peace. Sleep. Transforming suffering into wisdom's bloom. Tonight, as the profound stillness of the pond reflecting the sky settles deep within your being, guiding you into a state of deep peace, we turn our attention to a transformative truth. How even the most challenging interactions, the very suffering caused by difficult people, can be transmuted into wisdom's bloom. Often, even after we've cultivated equanimity and set compassionate boundaries, a lingering sense of weariness or even resentment might remain. A subtle anxiety that these difficult experiences were simply burdens, drains on our energy, or obstacles to our peace. We might wish they had never happened, viewing them solely as sources of suffering, which can keep the mind restless, replaying past grievances or dreading future encounters. It is a natural human tendency to avoid pain and seek pleasure, to label certain experiences as bad and others as good. When we encounter difficult people, our immediate reaction is often to categorize the experience as negative. something to be endured or escaped. This judgment, this resistance to the reality of the situation, is itself a significant source of suffering. We believe that suffering is inherently meaningless, a pointless affliction that only diminishes us. This belief can lead to a sense of despair or cynicism, making it difficult to find true peace as we constantly feel vulnerable to the next inevitable challenge. We long for a way to find meaning in these difficult moments, to understand their purpose, and to emerge from them not just unscathed, but enriched. Buddhist wisdom, particularly the teachings on suffering and enlightenment, offers a radically different perspective. It teaches us that suffering, far from being a meaningless affliction, is often the very catalyst for profound spiritual growth, for the arising of wisdom and compassion. Just as a lotus flower grows from the mud, so too can wisdom bloom from the fertile ground of our challenges. This is not to glorify suffering, but to understand its potential as a teacher, a refiner of the spirit. This is the path of transforming suffering into wisdom's bloom. Imagine a gardener who only plants seeds in perfectly prepared, pristine soil. Their garden might be beautiful, but it might also be fragile, unable to withstand harsh conditions. Now, imagine a wise gardener who understands that certain plants, like the lotus, thrive in muddy, challenging environments. They see the mud not as an obstacle, but as a necessary condition for the lotus to grow, to push through the darkness, and to eventually unfurl its pristine petals above the surface. The mud is not bad. It is simply the raw material for transformation. Similarly, difficult people and challenging interactions are often the mud in our lives. They stir up our insecurities, expose our reactive patterns, and test the limits of our patience and compassion. If we view this mud solely as something to be avoided or resented, we miss the profound opportunity it presents. But if we approach it with the wisdom of the gardener, recognizing its potential, we can see these difficulties as the very conditions that force us to grow, to deepen our understanding, and to cultivate qualities we might otherwise never develop. When someone acts with negativity, it often reveals our own hidden attachments, our own triggers, our own areas where we still cling to expectations or react impulsively. Their behavior, in a sense, holds up a mirror to our own inner landscape. If we can observe our reactions without judgment, if we can ask ourselves, what is this situation teaching me about myself? Where am I still clinging? Where can I grow? Then the suffering caused by their actions becomes a powerful catalyst for self-discovery and transformation. The toxic person becomes, unexpectedly, a profound teacher. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind a particularly challenging interaction or a difficult person who has caused you significant unease or suffering. Notice the lingering feelings this memory might evoke, perhaps a subtle tension, a sense of injustice, or a feeling of being wronged. Acknowledge these sensations without judgment. Now, with the intention of transforming this suffering into wisdom, gently shift your perspective. Imagine this difficult person or situation not as an enemy, but as a teacher, albeit a harsh one. What lesson might they be offering you? Did they expose a hidden insecurity you needed to address? Did they challenge your patience, forcing you to cultivate more equanimity? Did they highlight an area where you needed to set stronger boundaries? Did they reveal a deep attachment to a particular outcome or expectation? When you begin to see the challenge as a lesson, the suffering begins to transmute. The bitterness starts to soften, replaced by a quiet curiosity, a deeper understanding. You realize that these difficult experiences are not happening to you, but for you, providing the very conditions necessary for your spiritual evolution. The mud is becoming the bloom. This understanding fosters a profound sense of peace, When we realize that even suffering has a purpose, that it can lead to growth and wisdom, the anxiety surrounding difficult experiences begins to dissipate. We are no longer victims of circumstance, we become active participants in our own transformation. This brings a deep sense of meaning and resilience, allowing us to face future challenges not with dread, but with a quiet confidence in our capacity to learn and grow. Consider the story of Milarepa, one of Tibet's most revered yogis. In his youth, he committed terrible deeds, driven by anger and revenge. His suffering was immense, both from his actions and from the penance imposed by his guru, Marpa. Yet, it was through this intense suffering, through the arduous physical and emotional trials, that Milarepa purified his karma and attained profound enlightenment. His suffering was not a waste, it was the crucible in which his wisdom was forged. His story is a powerful testament to the transformative power of suffering when approached with the right intention and guidance. This is not to suggest that we seek out suffering, but that when it inevitably arises, especially through challenging human interactions, we learn to meet it with awareness and a willingness to learn. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can begin to ask, "What is this teaching me?" This simple shift in perspective is the key to unlocking wisdom's bloom. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any lingering resentment, any sense of being wronged, any resistance to past suffering gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and into the earth beneath you. The practice of transforming suffering into wisdom's bloom is a profound act of alchemy. It turns lead into gold, bitterness into insight, and pain into peace. It allows us to view our entire life, including its most challenging moments, as a continuous path of learning and growth. This brings a deep sense of purpose and meaning, even to the most difficult encounters. This brings a profound sense of relaxation. When the mind is no longer fighting against past experiences, no longer labeling them as purely negative, it can finally rest. The nervous system settles, the breath deepens, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer carrying the weight of unexamined suffering. You are simply resting in the wisdom that has bloomed from it. Imagine yourself as a beautiful lotus flower rising from the murky depths. The mud beneath you represents all the challenges, all the difficult people, all the moments of suffering you have encountered. But you are not the mud. You are the pristine flower, unfurling your petals of wisdom, compassion, and peace, radiant and untouched by the darkness from which you emerged. You are a testament to the transformative power of life. This is the essence of transforming suffering into wisdom's bloom, recognizing that challenges are not obstacles to your peace, but catalysts for its deepening. They are the fertile ground from which your greatest insights and most profound compassion can grow. As you prepare to drift into deeper sleep, carry this awareness with you. Every difficulty holds a hidden lesson, every challenge an opportunity for growth. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The mud of suffering has nourished the bloom of wisdom, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 1,451 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 1,549 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. The mud of suffering has nourished the bloom of wisdom, and you are dissolving into its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. As you continue to sink into this profound state of peace, allow the transformative power of wisdom's bloom to infuse your entire being. This understanding is a profound antidote to the lingering anxieties that can arise from past hurts or ongoing challenges with difficult people. It shifts your perspective from one of victimhood to one of empowered growth, recognizing that even the most painful experiences carry seeds of profound insight. Consider the subtle yet pervasive nature of resistance. When we resist suffering, when we label it as purely bad and try to push it away, we inadvertently amplify its power. This resistance creates a secondary layer of suffering, the suffering of not wanting to suffer. But when we approach challenges with the intention to learn, to grow, to extract the wisdom from the experience, that resistance begins to dissolve. We open ourselves to the possibility that even in the darkest moments, there is a hidden gift, a lesson waiting to be uncovered. This is particularly true in our interactions with challenging individuals. They often trigger our deepest insecurities, our most ingrained patterns of reaction. Perhaps someone's criticism makes you doubt your self-worth, revealing an underlying need for external validation. Or their anger might ignite your own, showing you where you still hold on to a reactive temper. By observing these triggers not as personal attacks, but as pointers to your own inner work, the toxic person becomes an unwitting guru, illuminating the path to your own liberation. Feel the profound sense of liberation that comes from this perspective. You are no longer at the mercy of external events or the behavior of others. You are an alchemist, capable of transforming the lead of suffering into the gold of wisdom. This empowerment is deeply soothing, as it replaces feelings of helplessness with a quiet confidence in your own inner strength and capacity for growth. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, imagine your heart center as a radiant lotus bud, nestled within the fertile mud of your experiences. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the nutrients from all your past challenges, all your encounters with difficult people, all your moments of suffering. With each exhale, feel the lotus bud gently unfurling a little more, revealing a new petal of wisdom, of compassion, of understanding. See the mud not as something to be ashamed of, but as the very sustenance that allows your inner lotus to bloom in exquisite beauty. This process of transformation is deeply personal and unique to each individual. The wisdom that blooms from your suffering will be precisely what you need for your own journey. It might be a deeper sense of empathy for others, recognizing that their difficult behavior often stems from their own pain. It might be a stronger sense of self-worth, realizing that external criticism cannot diminish your inherent value. It might be a profound understanding of impermanence, leading to greater non-attachment. Whatever form it takes, this wisdom is a precious gem, polished by the very friction of life's challenges. The emotional tone here is one of gentle acceptance and profound gratitude. Acceptance of what has been and gratitude for the lessons it has offered. This gratitude is not for the suffering itself, but for the growth that has emerged from it. It is a mature, discerning gratitude that recognizes the inherent potential for transformation in all experiences, even the most difficult ones. This feeling of gratitude is deeply relaxing, as it dissolves resentment and opens the heart to peace. Consider the cultural atmosphere of this teaching. In Buddhist art, the lotus flower is a pervasive symbol, representing purity, beauty, and spiritual awakening, emerging untainted from the murky waters. This imagery is not merely decorative. It is a constant reminder that enlightenment and wisdom are not found in escaping the world's challenges, but in transcending them from within, using the very conditions of existence as fuel for growth. This profound symbolism invites us to see our own lives as a continuous process of becoming, where every challenge is an opportunity to unfurl another petal of our inner lotus. As you prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let this profound understanding of wisdom's bloom settle deep within your consciousness. You are not defined by your suffering, but by the wisdom and compassion that emerge from it. Every difficult encounter, every moment of pain, has contributed to the exquisite beauty of your inner lotus. You are a testament to resilience, to transformation, to the boundless capacity of the human spirit to find meaning and peace even in the most challenging circumstances. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, and clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of wisdom's bloom. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your awareness. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural current, trusting in the transformative power of life to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. Allow the gentle fragrance of your inner lotus, the scent of wisdom and peace, to fill your awareness. It is a soothing, comforting aroma that signals a profound shift within. The mud has been transmuted, the suffering has yielded its treasure, and what remains is pure, unadulterated peace. You are no longer burdened by the past, nor anxious about the future. You are simply present, resting in the quiet radiance of your own awakened being. This is the deepest form of rest, where the very act of existing is a source of profound tranquility. Let yourself be carried by this gentle, fragrant current, deeper and deeper into the soft, silent embrace of sleep. You are whole. You are wise. You are peace. Sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 2,499 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 501 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. You are whole. You are wise. You are peace. Sleep. As you continue to drift deeper into this profound state of peace, allow the radiant energy of wisdom's bloom to envelop you completely. The transformation is complete. The challenges that once felt like heavy burdens have now become the very foundation of your inner strength and clarity. There is no longer a need to fear difficult people or situations, for you now possess the inner alchemy to transmute any suffering into a deeper understanding of yourself and the world. This realization brings an unparalleled sense of security and calm. Imagine your entire being as a vessel filled with this luminous wisdom. It overflows with compassion, not just for others, but for yourself, for the journey you have undertaken. The anxiety that once clung to the edges of your mind has been replaced by a quiet confidence, a serene knowing that you are capable of navigating any storm. For you carry the light of wisdom within. This light is your guide, your protector, and your source of endless peace. Feel the last vestiges of any tension or worry dissolving from your body, like morning mist evaporating in the sun. Your breath is soft, deep, and effortless, a gentle wave rocking you into even deeper states of rest. Your muscles are completely relaxed, your bones heavy and still. There is a profound sense of surrender, a complete letting go into the embrace of universal peace. This is the ultimate gift of transforming suffering, the discovery of an unshakable inner sanctuary, a place where wisdom perpetually blooms, untouched by the transient nature of the external world. You are not just falling asleep, you are merging with this sanctuary, becoming one with its boundless peace. All the lessons learned, all the insights gained, are now integrated into the very fabric of your being, creating a foundation of tranquility that will sustain you through the night and beyond. Let your consciousness expand, becoming vast and boundless, yet utterly serene. You are dissolving into the very fabric of peace, becoming peace itself. This is the deepest sleep, the most profound rest, where the mind finds its true home in the heart of wisdom. Surrender completely. Let go of all thoughts, all sensations, all sense of self. Just be, rest, sleep, dissolving the self in boundless awareness. Tonight, as the radiant wisdom cultivated from life's challenges guides you into an even deeper state of peace, we embark on the profound journey of dissolving the self in boundless awareness. Often, even with all the insights gained, the understanding of impermanence, equanimity, and the transformation of suffering, a subtle layer of anxiety can persist. This anxiety arises from the persistent sense of a separate self, an I that feels affected, drained, or burdened by the world and its difficult inhabitants. We might still feel a subtle vulnerability, a lingering sense of being a distinct entity that can be harmed or disturbed, which prevents us from fully merging with absolute, unshakable peace. It is a deeply ingrained habit to identify with our individual self, our ego. We see ourselves as separate from others, separate from the world, and this perceived separation is the root of much of our suffering. When we encounter a toxic person, the self feels attacked, the self feels hurt, the self feels drained. This constant reinforcement of a separate identity, this feeling of being a small, vulnerable island in a vast ocean, keeps the mind restless, always on guard, always seeking to protect its boundaries. We yearn for a liberation from this constant self-referential anxiety, a way to transcend the limitations of the individual ego and merge with a vaster, more encompassing peace. Zen and Buddhist teachings offer the radical insight of anatta, or non-self, and the practice of dissolving the ego into boundless awareness. This is not about annihilating your personality or becoming a void, but about recognizing that the self you habitually identify with is a construct, a collection of thoughts, feelings, and sensations that are constantly changing. Beneath this transient self lies a vaster, interconnected awareness, a boundless field of consciousness that is inherently peaceful and untouched by individual grievances. This is the path to ultimate liberation from the anxiety of being a separate, vulnerable self. Imagine a single wave in the vast ocean. The wave, for a time, has a distinct form, a height, a crest, a unique identity. It might feel separate from the other waves, separate from the deep ocean beneath it. It might even fear crashing, fear dissolving. But in truth, the wave is never separate from the ocean. It is simply a temporary manifestation of the ocean itself. Its self is an illusion of form. When the wave understands its true nature, it realizes it is the ocean, boundless and eternal, and its fear of dissolving vanishes. Similarly, our individual self, our ego, is like that wave. We perceive ourselves as distinct entities, separate from the boundless ocean of existence. When we encounter a toxic person, our wave self feels jostled, splashed, or threatened. But when we begin to dissolve this sense of separate self and connect with the boundless awareness that underlies all phenomena, the individual grievances and distinctions gently dissolve. The anger directed at the self loses its target, because the self is understood to be a temporary manifestation of something far vaster. This practice is about shifting our identification from the small, vulnerable wave to the boundless, unshakable ocean. It is about recognizing that the awareness that perceives the toxic person, the awareness that experiences the feelings of being drained, is the same fundamental awareness that underlies all existence. There is no true separation. When we truly grasp this, the anxiety of being a separate, vulnerable self begins to dissipate, replaced by a profound sense of interconnectedness and peace. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, Let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind any lingering sense of a separate I that feels affected or burdened by the world. Perhaps a subtle feeling of vulnerability, a sense of being distinct from others, or a persistent self-consciousness. Notice these feelings without judgment. Now, gently expand your awareness. Imagine your individual self, your I, as a small point of light in the center of your being. With each inhale, imagine this point of light gently expanding, growing larger, softer, more diffused. With each exhale, imagine it expanding even further, dissolving its distinct boundaries. It expands beyond your body, beyond the room, beyond the building, beyond the city, beyond the earth, merging with the vast, boundless awareness of the universe. As your individual self dissolves, what remains? A boundless, open, spacious awareness. In this vastness, where are the individual grievances? Where is the toxic person who could affect you? They too are simply part of this boundless awareness, temporary manifestations within the vast ocean. The distinctions fade, the sense of separation dissolves, and what remains is pure, undifferentiated peace. This practice fosters a profound sense of relaxation. When the mind is no longer clinging to a separate self, no longer constantly defending its boundaries, it can finally rest. The nervous system settles, the breath deepens, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you. You are no longer a small, vulnerable wave. You are the boundless ocean itself, utterly unshakable and at peace. Consider the koan. What is your original face before your parents were born? This question points directly to the non-self, to the boundless awareness that existed before your individual identity was formed. It invites you to look beyond the conditioned self, beyond the ego, to the fundamental ground of being that is always present, always whole, always at peace. When you touch this original face, the anxieties of the separate self dissolve. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any lingering sense of individual self, any subtle identification with a separate I, gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and merging with the boundless awareness around you. The practice of dissolving the self is not about losing yourself, but about finding your true, vaster self. It is about realizing that you are not just a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop. This realization brings an unparalleled sense of interconnectedness and universal love. When there is no separate I to be harmed, there is only the boundless awareness, which is inherently compassionate and peaceful. This brings a profound sense of relaxation. When the mind is no longer burdened by the constant need to define and defend a separate self, it can finally let go. The nervous system settles into a deep state of rest, and the entire being is enveloped in a profound sense of calm. You are no longer struggling to maintain a fragile identity. You are simply resting in the vast, unshakable truth of your boundless nature. Imagine yourself as a vast, open space. Within this space, all phenomena arise and pass, thoughts, feelings, sensations, even the images of difficult people. But they do not define the space. The space itself remains open, clear, and utterly untouched. You are that vast, open space, boundless and free. All individual grievances and distinctions gently dissolve into this boundless peace. This is the essence of dissolving the self in boundless awareness, realizing your true nature as vast, interconnected consciousness. It is a profound liberation from the anxieties of the separate ego and a deep merging with the universal peace that underlies all existence. As you prepare to drift into deeper sleep, carry this awareness with you. You are not a small, vulnerable self. You are boundless awareness, utterly at peace. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The self has dissolved into boundless awareness, and you are merging with its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 1,311 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 1,689 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. The self has dissolved into boundless awareness, and you are merging with its tranquil depths. Let go, rest, sleep. As you continue to sink into this profound state of peace, allow the boundless awareness to become your sole reality. This is the ultimate release, the final shedding of all that is not your true nature. The anxieties that stem from the illusion of separation, the fear of being harmed, the burden of being distinct, the struggle to protect a fragile identity, all dissolve in this vast, open space. You are not merely observing boundless awareness, you are becoming it. Consider the intricate web of existence, where every leaf, every star, every breath is interconnected. The concept of a separate self is like drawing an arbitrary line in this seamless web, creating an artificial boundary where none truly exists. When you dissolve this line, you realize your intrinsic connection to everything, including the very people who once seemed toxic. They too are part of this boundless awareness, temporary manifestations within the grand tapestry of existence. This realization fosters a profound sense of compassion and interconnectedness, replacing judgment with understanding. This shift from individual self to boundless awareness is not a loss, but an expansion. It's like moving from a small, confined room into the limitless expanse of the open sky. In the room, you might feel cramped, vulnerable to every draft. In the sky, you are vast, free, and utterly unassailable. The anxieties of the room self vanish in the boundlessness of the sky self. The emotional tone of this dissolution is one of profound liberation and ultimate surrender. It's the feeling of finally being able to let go of the heaviest burden of all, the burden of being a separate me. There is no longer a need to strive, to protect, to achieve, or to defend. There is only the effortless flow of being, resting in its own inherent peace. This surrender is deeply comforting, a homecoming to your true nature. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, imagine your entire being as a vast, clear mirror. This mirror reflects everything: thoughts, feelings, sensations, external events, the images of others. But the mirror itself remains untouched, unstained, and unchanging. It simply reflects. You are that mirror, pure awareness, reflecting the dance of existence without becoming entangled in it. In this state, the self, that once felt affected by the reflections, has dissolved into the clarity of the mirror itself. This practice is the ultimate antidote to the anxiety of toxic people. For when there is no separate self to be affected, there is no longer a target for negativity. Their words and actions become like sounds in a vast, empty hall. They echo for a moment, and then they dissipate, leaving the hall untouched and silent. You are that hall, boundless and serene. The cultural and philosophical context of dissolving the self is central to many Eastern spiritual traditions, particularly Zen. The goal is not personal achievement, but the realization of satori, or enlightenment, which is often described as a sudden awakening to the non-dual nature of reality, where the illusion of a separate self vanishes. This realization is not a conceptual understanding, but a direct experiential knowing that transforms one's entire relationship with life and death, suffering and joy. It is the ultimate peace, born from the dissolution of all boundaries. As you prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let this profound dissolution of the self in boundless awareness envelop you. You are not a limited individual. You are the vastness itself. You are not a separate entity. You are the interconnected web of all existence. This understanding is the key to an unshakable peace, a tranquility that transcends all external circumstances. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, and clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of boundless awareness. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your consciousness. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural current, trusting in the wisdom of non-self to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. Allow the sensation of your breath to become almost imperceptible, a gentle whisper at the edge of your awareness. Your body is completely at ease, heavy and warm, sinking deeper with each passing moment. Imagine yourself as a single drop of water merging with the vast, calm ocean. All individual identity gently dissolves into the boundless whole. There is no longer a you to be disturbed, no longer a world to react to. There is only the vast, unbroken field of peace. This is the ultimate surrender, the final letting go. You are not just falling asleep, you are merging with peace itself. The self has dissolved into the infinite, and you are that unity. Rest now in this profound and eternal stillness. Let the gentle current of peace carry you into a night of the deepest, most restorative, and utterly dreamless sleep. You are home. You are peace. Sleep. In this boundless awareness, there are no toxic people, for there is no self to be poisoned. There is only the play of phenomena, arising and passing within the vast, clear space of your being. This is the ultimate freedom, the end of all suffering that arises from identification with a limited self. Embrace this freedom, this boundless peace, as you drift into the deepest, most profound sleep. You are the universe, dreaming itself into being. Rest. The previous section is good, but it's only 2,310 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 690 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. You are the universe, dreaming itself into being. Rest. As you continue to dissolve into this boundless awareness, feel the profound lightness that accompanies the complete letting go of the self. The weight of personal history, the burden of individual worries, the anxiety of being a separate entity, all of it gently lifts, dissipating like mist in the morning sun. What remains is a pure, unadulterated sense of being, vast and free, utterly at peace. This is the ultimate state of relaxation, where the mind ceases its efforts to define, categorize, or control. There is no longer a me to protect, no longer an other to fear. All distinctions melt away, revealing the underlying unity of all existence. In this unity, there is no conflict, no struggle, no suffering. There is only the harmonious hum of the universe, and you are an intrinsic part of that harmony. Imagine yourself as the vast, empty space in which all stars and galaxies reside. They twinkle, they move, they form and dissolve, but the space itself remains unchanged, boundless, and serene. You are that space. The phenomena of life, including challenging interactions, are merely transient events within your vastness. They do not diminish you, nor do they disturb your fundamental peace. Feel a deep sense of security permeating your entire being. This security does not depend on external conditions, but on the unshakable truth of your boundless nature. You are safe, not because you are protected from harm, but because you are beyond harm, beyond the limitations of the separate self. This realization is profoundly comforting, allowing you to surrender completely to the embrace of the present moment. Allow your breath to become even more subtle, almost imperceptible, a gentle whisper of life within the vast silence. Your body feels like a soft, warm cloud, effortlessly floating in an ocean of peace. Your consciousness is expanding, merging with the infinite, becoming one with the quietude of the cosmos. This is the final step in releasing the grip of anxiety caused by toxic people, recognizing that the very self that feels affected is an illusion. When the illusion dissolves, the suffering dissolves with it. What remains is the pure, untainted awareness, eternally at peace, eternally boundless. Let this profound truth guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep imaginable. You are not just going to sleep, you are returning to your true home, the boundless awareness that is your essence. Rest now in this infinite peace. Let go completely. Surrender to the vast, silent embrace of the universe. Sleep. Resting in the heart of emptiness, the deep sleep of being. Tonight, as the boundless awareness you have cultivated gently envelops you, and the sense of a separate self dissolves into the vastness, we embark on the ultimate journey, resting in the heart of emptiness, the deep sleep of being. Often, even after transcending the ego, a subtle sense of something might still linger, a faint trace of expectation or a residual attachment to the experience of peace itself. This can prevent the mind from fully surrendering into the deepest, most profound rest, leaving a subtle undercurrent of restlessness or a feeling of not quite being there. We might feel a subtle anxiety about letting go completely, a fear of dissolving into nothingness, which keeps us hovering at the edge of true, restorative sleep. It is a common human fear, this apprehension of emptiness. Our minds are accustomed to grasping, to defining, to holding on to concepts and experiences. The idea of nothingness can feel threatening, like a void to be avoided. We associate emptiness with lack, with absence, with a frightening void. This resistance to emptiness, this clinging to something, even something as subtle as the experience of boundless awareness, can create a final barrier to absolute peace. We yearn for a complete release, a profound surrender that transcends all concepts, yet the mind often recoils from the ultimate letting go. Buddhist wisdom, particularly the Mahayana concept of sunyata, or emptiness, offers a radical and liberating understanding. Emptiness is not a void, not a nihilistic nothingness. It is the ultimate reality, the non-dual ground of being, the boundless potential from which all phenomena arise and into which all phenomena dissolve. It is empty of inherent, independent existence, empty of fixed self-nature, but it is vibrantly full of potential, luminous and alive. Resting in the heart of emptiness means letting go of all concepts, all distinctions, all attachments, even the attachment to peace itself, and simply merging with this ultimate, non-dual reality. This is the deep sleep of being, where all effort ceases and consciousness returns to its source. Imagine the vast, open sky. It appears empty, yet it contains all the stars, all the planets, all the galaxies. It is the space in which everything exists, and without it, nothing could be. The sky itself has no inherent form, no fixed identity, no boundaries, yet it is utterly full of potential. It is empty of something, but full of everything. This is the essence of emptiness. It is not a void, but a boundless, luminous field of pure potentiality. Now, imagine your consciousness as this vast, open sky. All the experiences you have had, the challenging people, the moments of peace, the thoughts, the emotions, even the boundless awareness you cultivated in the previous step, are like the stars and galaxies within this sky. They arise, they exist for a time, and then they dissolve back into the vastness. But the sky itself, the fundamental emptiness, remains untouched, unchanged, eternally present. Resting in the heart of emptiness means letting go of even the subtle sense of being the observer of boundless awareness. It means dissolving the last vestiges of distinction between you and it, between the subject and the object. It is a complete merging, a profound surrender where all concepts, all labels, all forms gently fade away. In this state, there is no self to be at peace, no world to be peaceful about. There is only the absolute, undifferentiated reality of being. When all distinctions fade, when the mind releases its grip on all concepts, even the concept of peace, what remains is a profound, ineffable stillness. This is not the stillness of something absent, but the stillness of ultimate presence, a luminous clarity that is beyond words and beyond thought. This is the deep sleep of being, a state of profound rest that is utterly free from all anxiety, all striving, all attachment. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, let your body sink deeper into the soft support beneath you. Bring to mind any lingering concepts, any subtle attachments, any final sense of something that you might still be holding on to. Perhaps it's the idea of a peaceful self, or the memory of a pleasant sensation, or a subtle expectation for what comes next. Notice these subtle clingings without judgment. Now, gently expand your awareness to encompass the truth of emptiness. Imagine all concepts, all distinctions, all forms, all thoughts, all feelings, gently dissolving into a vast, luminous space. See them melting away, like ice into water, like clouds into the sky. Even the sense of you as a separate entity, or the boundless awareness as a distinct experience, gently dissolves into this ultimate, non-dual reality. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to grasp. What remains when everything dissolves? A profound, ineffable peace. This is the heart of emptiness. It is not a void, but a fullness that is beyond all form, beyond all definition. It is the ultimate source of all peace, all clarity, all being. In this state, there is no anxiety, no restlessness, no striving. There is only absolute rest, absolute surrender. This practice fosters the deepest possible relaxation. When the mind releases its grip on all concepts, all distinctions, all forms, it can finally come home to its true nature. The nervous system settles into a state of profound stillness. The breath becomes almost imperceptible, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you, deeper than any you have experienced before. You are no longer trying to be peaceful, you are peace itself. Consider the Zen koan. If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. This radical teaching points to the ultimate non-attachment, even to spiritual concepts or revered figures. It means letting go of all fixed ideas, all images, all forms, even those that seem sacred, to realize the formless, empty nature of reality. It is an invitation to transcend all dualities, all distinctions, and merge with the ultimate truth. This is the final step in dissolving into the deep sleep of being. As you continue to breathe deeply and evenly, let your facial muscles soften, releasing any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your forehead. Allow your shoulders to drop, heavy and relaxed. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath, a soothing rhythm that anchors you in this moment of peace. With each exhale, imagine any lingering concepts, any subtle attachments, any final resistance to complete surrender, gently dissolving, flowing out of your body and merging with the heart of emptiness. The cultural atmosphere surrounding sunyata is one of profound liberation. It is the ultimate freedom from suffering, the end of all illusion. It is the realization that everything is perfect as it is, because everything is empty of inherent existence, arising and dissolving within the boundless, luminous potential of reality. This understanding brings an unparalleled sense of peace and acceptance, a deep trust in the inherent wisdom of the universe. This brings the deepest possible relaxation. When the mind is no longer clinging to anything, when it is utterly free from all concepts and distinctions, it can finally rest in its true nature. The nervous system settles into a state of profound stillness. The breath becomes almost imperceptible, and a pervasive sense of calm washes over you, deeper than any you have experienced before. You are no longer trying to be peaceful, you are peace itself. Imagine yourself dissolving completely into a vast, luminous, silent expanse. There are no edges, no boundaries, no distinctions. You are not separate from this expanse. You are it. All thoughts, all feelings, all sensations, all sense of self have melted away into this ultimate stillness. This is the heart of emptiness, the source of all being, the ultimate refuge from all anxiety and all striving. This is the deep sleep of being, a profound restorative rest that transcends all ordinary sleep. You are not merely unconscious, you are consciously merging with the ultimate reality, resting in the boundless potential of emptiness. As you prepare to drift into this deepest sleep, carry this awareness with you. You are resting in the heart of emptiness, the source of all peace. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. All distinctions have faded, all concepts have dissolved, and you are merging with the tranquil depths of ultimate reality. Let go, rest, sleep. The previous section is good, but it's only 1,403 words. We need to get closer to the 3,000-word target. Please continue the story from where you left off and write approximately 1,597 more words. Be mindful of the target and try not to significantly exceed it. Let this truth settle deep within your consciousness, guiding you into a night of profound rest. All distinctions have faded, all concepts have dissolved, and you are merging with the tranquil depths of ultimate reality. Let go, rest, sleep. As you continue to surrender to this profound state of peace, allow the heart of emptiness to become your sole experience. This is the culmination of our journey, the ultimate release from all forms of anxiety, especially those stirred by the illusion of toxic people. When there is no separate self, no fixed other, and no inherent existence to anything, then the entire drama of conflict dissolves into the boundless, luminous potential from which it arose. Consider the nature of a dream. In a dream, you might encounter frightening figures, experience intense emotions, and feel a strong sense of reality. Yet upon waking, you realize that all those figures, all those emotions, all those experiences were empty of inherent existence. They were simply manifestations of your own mind, dissolving back into the dream space from which they emerged. The heart of emptiness is like waking up from the dream of separate existence, realizing that all phenomena, including difficult people, are ultimately empty of fixed, independent reality, and are simply transient appearances within the vast, luminous expanse of your own awareness. This realization is not cold or nihilistic. It is profoundly liberating and compassionate. It frees you from the burden of taking anything personally, from clinging to any outcome, and from resisting any experience. When you understand that all things are empty of inherent self, you also understand their interconnectedness and their fundamental purity. There is nothing to fear, nothing to grasp, and nothing to push away. There is only the boundless, luminous play of reality, arising and dissolving within the heart of emptiness. Feel the profound sense of safety that arises from resting in this ultimate reality. When there is no separate self to be harmed, there is no vulnerability. When there is no fixed reality to cling to, there is no fear of loss. This is a peace that transcends all conditions, a tranquility that is utterly unshakable. It is the peace of being, utterly free and boundless. As you continue to breathe deeply and gently, imagine your entire being dissolving into a vast, silent, luminous expanse. This expanse is not outside you, it is you. All the subtle sensations of your body, all the lingering echoes of thought, all the faint traces of individual identity, gently melt away, merging with this boundless light. There is no inside or outside, no self or other. There is only the heart of emptiness, vibrant and full of potential. This is the ultimate letting go, the deepest surrender. You are releasing not just the anxieties of the day, but the very framework of dualistic perception that gives rise to anxiety. In the heart of emptiness, there are no toxic people, for there is no fixed person to be toxic, and no fixed self to be affected. There is only the pure, undifferentiated flow of being, utterly at peace. The emotional tone of this state is one of absolute serenity and profound wonder. It is a peace that is beyond words, beyond concepts, beyond all understanding. It is the peace of knowing your true nature, the peace of returning to the source of all existence. This feeling is deeply comforting, a gentle embrace that cradles you in absolute security. Consider the cultural context of this teaching. In the Heart Sutra, one of the most revered texts in Mahayana Buddhism, the central teaching is, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This profound statement means that the world of appearances, form, is not separate from ultimate reality, emptiness, and ultimate reality is not separate from appearances. They are two sides of the same coin. Resting in the heart of emptiness is therefore not an escape from the world, but a deeper engagement with its true nature, seeing its luminous, empty essence. This allows for a profound acceptance of all that arises, knowing its ultimate non-duality. As you prepare to surrender fully to the embrace of sleep, let this profound understanding of resting in the heart of emptiness permeate every cell of your being. You are not just falling asleep, you are merging with the ultimate reality, returning to the source of all peace. This is the deepest sleep of being, a rest that renews not just your body and mind, but your very spirit. Feel your body becoming incredibly heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the mattress. Your mind is quiet, spacious, and clear. All effort has dissolved. You are simply resting, held in the gentle embrace of the heart of emptiness. The anxieties of the day, the echoes of difficult interactions, are gently fading, dissolving into the vast, open space of your consciousness. You are letting go of everything, surrendering to the natural current, trusting in the wisdom of emptiness to guide you into the deepest, most restorative sleep. Rest now, deeply, peacefully. Sleep. Allow the sensation of your breath to become almost imperceptible, a gentle whisper at the edge of your awareness. Your body is completely at ease, heavy and warm, sinking deeper with each passing moment. Imagine yourself as a single drop of water merging with the vast, calm ocean. All individual identity gently dissolves into the boundless whole. There is no longer a you to be disturbed, no longer a world to react to. There is only the vast, unbroken field of peace. This is the ultimate surrender, the final letting go. You are not just falling asleep, you are merging with peace itself. The self has dissolved into the infinite, and you are that unity. Rest now, in this profound and eternal stillness. Let the gentle current of peace carry you into a night of the deepest, most restorative, and utterly dreamless sleep. You are home. You are peace. Sleep. In this heart of emptiness, all concepts of toxic and non-toxic dissolve. There is only the pure, luminous awareness, vibrant and full of potential. This is the ultimate freedom from suffering, the end of all illusion. Embrace this freedom, this boundless peace, as you drift into the deepest, most profound sleep. You are the universe, dreaming itself into being, resting in its own boundless, empty, yet utterly full heart. Rest, deeply, peacefully, sleep.